makes me feel so free, so alive. It makes me want to survive. In the sky, it makes me feel so high. The bad times pass me by, 'cause today is gonna be a brighter day. Can you feel the sunshine? 'Cause it's bright enough today. Don't you feel that sometimes you just need to run away? Reach out for the sunshine. Forget about the rain. Think about the good times. They will come back again. Without you, there's nothing for me to do. Can you feel the sunshine too? It's coming through. It makes me feel brand new. When you're here, I wish you were always near. 'Cause everything's so clear. And today is gonna be a brighter day. Can you feel the sunshine? 'Cause it's bright enough today. Don't you feel that sometimes you just need to run away? Reach out for the sunshine. Forget about the rain. Just think about the good times, and they will come back again. When the sun goes down, I feel like I am waiting for another day when the clouds go away. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Oh, can you feel the sunshine? 'Cause it's bright enough today. Don't you feel that sometimes you just need to run away? Reach out for the sunshine. Forget about the rain. Think about the good times, and they will come back again. Can you feel the sunshine? Reach out, you gotta reach out. Come back again.
I think there we go, it's all working now. Let me just hop back into the Discord chat like usual. Pow. There we go.
Hello.
Hope everyone is doing well today. It's been a pain to set this up, not gonna lie. Like crazy, nothing wanted to work, like generations and everything else. But I think it's working. So let me just launch it. Sonic Generations, Sonic GMI. Hey, I am. Hope you are doing well. Hey Matt. You're more than welcome to join the VC if you want. And hey Cyber, how you doing? Hope you're doing well.
Hello, Matt.
Yep. Cam, you sound burnt out. A bit. Not gonna lie. If you watch yesterday's stuff, you'll understand what's sort of been going on. But it's okay. I'm okay.
Yep. He's feeling better now.
Sort of. As good as I can be, to be honest. But I'm here for. I just said Daniel's icon pop up in the like restream. Did Daniel join? Are you here, Daniel Dapple? No, he's not. That's weird. That popped up.
Yeah, he was online just a moment ago, but he's offline now.
No, but I mean on the what's it called? The actual thing itself, the stream.
Yeah.
I've got it playing on the left side, and I saw his little icon pop up. But I don't. He
Yeah.
might have popped in and then popped out again. But I didn't hear anything, so it might have just been a glitch. Beta Unleashed Sonic, was that? Oh, I don't want that. Do I want that? Do I want that? Unleashed Sonic Final. No, I don't want that. Okay. Enable FX pipeline. Alternate execute. Yeah, go. Yeah, everything's just been sort of not working. Exist jam. Yep. Ultra and Daniel get into VC.
Oh, Apple, hello. Welcome to the stream.
Hey, Perplexed Apple. Hope you're doing well. Where is it? Unleashed Project? No, where is it? FX Pipeline Shaders. There we go. Well, actually, do I want that top? Yes, in yesterday's stream, at the end of it, I say a lot of stuff about what's going on.
I'm gonna
Hence-
pretend I know what most of this means, says Matt.
Yeah, no, that's what I was just explaining.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm okay, thanks, Perplexed Apple. Hope you are. Glad to hear you're doing well. I probably feel better after playing some Generations, to be honest, because I like this game. I've
Wait,
been
just-
having the worst time trying to set this all up. Like the worst time.
Mhm.
Not being fun, because for some reason it doesn't work with like my controller gets noticed by Steam, but the game itself doesn't notice it. And even if you go into the configuration stuff,
Mhm.
you know, it still doesn't work. It's bizarre. To be honest, Matt, I don't think I can give a summary. To be honest, there's a lot of stuff. You know, I think how long was it? I think it was about 10 minutes, 15 minutes of talking about it for.
Yeah.
At the end of it
I think
yesterday.
about 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy, but I needed to
Yeah.
vent.
Just so you're Just so that all of you are aware, I'm actually watching 2 streams at the same time, so I'm multitasking.
It's no worries, Ultra. It's cool. Add source. Capture any full screen application.
I gotta get
Gonna
my opinions on
I
Generations
hate the
out
plot.
quickly.
Hate the game. Yeah, same. It's not. It's not. It's not a good game story wise. Wait, why isn't it showing up? Oh no.
Well, it is your opinion.
Yeah. I just like the gameplay, to be honest. It does its job as
Yeah.
being a 25th anniversary title, and I think that's, you know, what it's really meant to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to find out why this isn't working. Let me hop back into Generation, see if it pops up. Oh, it's all working. The mods are working. Yes. After the sequel music.
What a
It did load up. Okay, thank you, Sonic Generations. But this needs to go all the way down to here. Oh god, I need to scale this. Sorry about this, guys. Why did that move? Oh. Where did that move? Everything's going to crap.
Our apologies to the viewers who are watching.
There we go. Thank God I learned how to crop on this application. Okay, there we go. Looks like it should work. I hope the audio levels are okay. Why can't I see the restream chat? That's kind of annoying. Gonna have to open it up on my phone, I think. for once. Let me just get that. Sorry, guys. This is nothing's been going well.
I'll join voice chat for a bit if you'd like. No problem, Matt. You can join in whenever
Yeah,
you feel like it.
Come on, you can come on in if you want.
It's been a while since I haven't heard of him.
Yeah, he's been doing stuff. So there's no worries, and his internet has been up and down, but it's no problem.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Wait, did I say 25th anniversary title?
This is the 20th anniversary of Sonic.
Why did I say 25th? Thank you for pointing that out. I'm very out of the loop today. But yes,
Theory.
here we go. We're going to be playing a completely new game. I'm wiping my old save data, which is god old. Game's a bit too loud. Okie dokie. Thank you for letting me know, Matt.
Alright. She's been hitting the fan, Ultra. No worries, Matt. Totally understandable.
Let's turn that down to 2. There we go. Okay, we can finally start up the game. Here we go. I have FX pipeline shaders. I have graphics mod. It looks nice. Oh yes, and the Unleashed hard. This definitely will make me a bit happier. So. Okay, cool. I love this game so much.
Would you look at that? Amateur is like Navi.
My child. I've done the old school route of having everything up on my phone, so I might not be able to get to it as quickly as I would normally. Hey Matt.
Join me now. Oh, is he on? Oh, hi Matt.
Hey.
How you doing?
Hello.
I feel like shit.
Oh snap.
to put it mildly.
But it's good hearing from you. Oh god, classic Sonic, what are you doing?
Yay. I'm not the only one who prefers the classic Sonic stuff in Generations, I'll be honest. Though, there is one problem I have with it. Classic really feels like he doesn't want to be there.
Oh yeah. I mean, at least it's better than Forces, to be honest, this gameplay.
In Forces, in all the story cutscenes, you just know he doesn't want to be there, like, all the time. I mean, if you look at the best example I can think of is the first time he shows up. When Tails starts talking to him, he has a very sort of mixture of confused and pissed off look on his face.
Yes, he does.
Like, why am I here again? Come on, guys, I want to go home.
I hate the one line I hate the most in that game is it's been generations since I've seen you. That's the most hashed in one-off pun I've ever heard in my life.
I will say something else though.
Hey, Koopa.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you said that the line you hate the most is that one. Well, I'm gonna be honest here, and I'm sorry for anybody who likes Forces, even though I kind of like it myself. Every line in that script is the one I hate the most.
Yeah.
Every line in that script.
If I had to pick one, it would have been that. Question.
Me too.
Would you guys like the next Sonic game to be reboot with the adventure playstyle? I wouldn't say reboot. I think the franchise is pretty story-wise, because again, there's like the last couple of games, story-wise, it's not great. But the IDW comics have done well with the Forces storyline, but as we know from the games, there's not much continuity within each game. So story-wise, I think still do what they do best. Maybe reference things here and there. But adventure gameplay style, I would love personally, but it has to be done right. Because again, I'm a classic fanboy. I like that old school stuff.
Nice.
So anything getting close to that is a plus in my book. But I just think if they can do a boost game as well as this, or Unleashed in terms of daytime stages and basically the whole boost formula in Generations, in terms of level design, I would like it again. Like, I would like them to take another crack at it, but I don't want another one like Forces, because
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
it's not good.
Yeah.
It
And
wasn't.
hey, Sonic
It wasn't
5.
perfect, but it was okay.
Because again, I don't know. I'm not one of those people who keep harking back to 06, but that was meant to be a reboot, and look what we got story-wise from that. And I personally think story-wise we're fine at the moment. I know some of the stories can be crap in terms of writing and all that, but in terms of where it stands compared to complex, like how complex it is compared to say SA1, SA2, Heroes, Shadow the Hedgehog,
Yes.
it's a different ballpark. So I think there's really no need for a reboot. Okay, Green Hill Act 2. Here we go.
I should actually record a video of our discussions on the games from the last decade. I think that's what we should talk about.
I actually haven't. Oh god, I need to.
Are you going to be recording that, Ultra? Or?
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
that's
sure,
all
okay,
good.
I'd be up for that.
Alright.
Though, but bear in mind, I will say one thing, though.
Yeah.
For the games for the last decade, all Rogers stuff, can I just summarize my thoughts on it in one sort of sentence?
Okay.
Story-wise, they're all crap.
Okay.
They're all terrible.
All right.
All.
We're ready in 3, 2, 1. I hope this is good. And here we go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I am Ultrasonic here, and on today's video, we're going to be discussing something completely different. But before we get started, I'm here with two special guests. So would you care to introduce yourselves from bottom to top? Or top to bottom, if that makes better sense.
I don't know. Is that me first or is that Matt first?
That's Matt first. Sorry, I should have mentioned that before. I'll call that blooper.
Okay.
Alright, from the top again. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I am Ultrasonic Hero, and welcome to an all-new video. Today we're going to be discussing on something completely different. So, would you care to introduce yourselves from the top to bottom, alphabetical order?
I guess that means I'm first. Hello, I'm Matt from the McGinnis Experiment, a channel which you really shouldn't watch because it's so inconsistent it's not funny. I don't even know what else to say here, so I'm going to pass you on to Gan.
Hey, I make content and random crap, I guess, on
It's not crap.
on
Don't
the
listen to him.
on the franchise. You know, I like talking a lot. If you don't know, I don't know if that's a good trait or not. But here we are.
Yeah.
A great introduction.
I guess.
Okay, so what we're going to be discussing today on is how the developers have been making quite a lot of ups and downs in the franchise from the last decade. And based on storyline. So that's going to be pointing out today. So first, let's get this off our chest. Let's start off with one of our most hated or disliked games. Which one would you say?
What, over the last decade?
Yeah. It means like last decade ago, but from like 10.
I can pinpoint one.
Okay.
And I don't know if you guys hate it as much as I do, but story-wise, the worst of the bunch that we've got, I would say would have to be Sonic Lost World.
Okay.
Are we?
That would...
I've got two answers. I've got one for mainline, and that's Sonic Lost World. I really enjoy the first quarter of that game. The rest of it, I think, is just drivel and is crap. It was the first Sonic game I actually not raged at, but actively hated. Then the other one is Sonic Boom. Obviously, that's just goes without saying.
Oh yeah.
That's a completely different rabbit hole.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it has to be said.
Yeah.
I am doing average, Cooper. I'm doing average, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, now
Just
for my
asking-
most...
just asking before we continue. We are going to be editing this, right? Because I think it would be very funny if in the middle of the recording for this video, it's just Ultra going, no, we're going to move on to, and then Gam just goes, ah!
Have you seen the
Magic books are receiving aliens in an interstellar
By the way, Ultra, is it
Yeah.
okay if, what was I going to ask? You know the rings things that you made, is it okay if I use those just in one or two?
Yeah,
videos?
sure, go ahead.
what's happened to Sonic?
Okay, thanks.
soon.
Oh my
Alright.
god,
Sonic is dead.
I'm not using
It's the ultimate.
Unleash Sonic anymore.
Wow, you weren't
Oh.
kidding when you said soon.
The
Hey,
game has
Minion
decided
Sonic.
The game has decided to crap on itself. Guys, run.
Oh,
Oh
that's
dear,
creepy.
it's beyond abomination.
Yep.
I'm also going to say one thing. I may need to go in and out at any time, Ultra. So if I don't say anything, or if I'm muted and deafened, it's something I have to deal with. So,
Okay.
but
That
I'll
is
let you know
cool.
when I'm going to do it. So yeah,
Okay, no worries.
when you're ready.
Alright, now onto my most hated game. Probably Sonic Boom, and I'll tell you why. It's because the game kept lagging, and it's because of the frame rate was completely messed up. And the characters and their appearances, my fucking god, with a capital F. And I mean that. It is literally bullshit.
Yeah, it's
I-
out of this world. Like, do you know what the thing I hated about it the most? Oh
Yeah.
crap! I just did awful there. Is that the fact that Tails looked normal, and actually kind of liked his design in that they embraced his technical aspects a lot more, which I think was a good route to go. But
Yeah.
it was the fact that Knuckles and Tails was probably one of the most unchanged characters throughout the whole series.
Lagging it.
You're lagging a wee bit.
Oh god, am I? Damn it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you were talking about Knuckles' appearance.
Yeah, it's
How
just
bad he looked.
yeah, it's the fact that they took such a simple character design and threw it on its head.
Yeah.
And he had such a simple character design before that it's kind of bad that how much they changed him. I've seen people like it, and again, that's fine by me.
Yeah.
You know, if you like something I don't like, more power to you. You know, that's cool. But
Yeah, I did like how Knuckles was buff and tall.
that's what I
Is-
mean.
That was just not his actual or accurate look.
Yeah.
He just doesn't look like the character he once was. Like, at least with Tails, they kept up the aesthetic of him being mechanical, you know.
Yeah,
He's tech savvy, whereas not once Knuckles has been buff.
Yeah.
He's known to punch things, you know, and have a temper, and being stupid.
yeah,
But not stupid in the way Sonic Boom, you know. They just completely changed the character,
yeah.
and I don't
like to
think
point
that's
something
right.
out here. You mentioned stupid, which brings me to a point that I've always wanted to bring up in one of these types of discussions, because nobody ever seems to know what this word is. Have either of you two heard of the phrase flanderization?
Yes.
Oh yes, yes.
Well, Sonic Boom and specifically the games of the last decade kind of feel like they're just throwing flanderization about the place as if it's, this is the cool thing.
Yeah,
We're going to
yeah.
reinvent characters because we can.
Yeah.
And money's
There's no
off,
rhyme
so
or
the
reason for
focus
it.
on the money being made. Yeah, like for example, I can give you a very good example, which is Eggman, Robotnik, whatever you want to call him. I'm gonna call him Robotnik because I prefer that name. It's a lot more intimidating. But if you were to play the games like, say, Sonic Adventure 2, or if you were to watch the cartoons, and the early classic games as well, you get an idea of Robotnik being this sort of terrorist, almost evil villain who will stop at nothing to want you dead. I mean, there are certain games where that is particularly highlighted, like Unleashed, for example. I mean, he tears apart a planet, raises Satan and does all these, very strange stuff just because he wants you to die. And he wants you to see suffering on a massive scale. I mean, there you see him as a villain. Now, compare that to something like, say, I don't know, Sonic Colors, where it's like, oh, look, here's these aliens, yay, let's make some robots, let's have a good time, yay. Dark shit. Wait, what? Where did all this come from?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, they take one aspect of his personality, and they emphasize it to the point of no return. Because, okay, maybe he hadn't thought his plans through in the original games, okay, maybe what he wanted to, the contraptions he used, it sort of implied that he wasn't as intelligent as he made himself out to be. I mean, an IQ of 300 is very hard to depict. So, having him be the stupid villain doesn't make sense, but apparently it does to Sega because everybody thinks he's a stupid doctor, even though he clearly isn't and never has been.
Yeah. It's just, again, it's down to the writing, and I don't like the writers whatsoever. Like, the only game I've ever really appreciated, and that's, like, loosely appreciated, is Colours. Just because I think for the first game that they wrote, I think it was a decent job. But that's about it, decent. I actually like the story. That I don't know if that's me just being nostalgic, having nostalgic memories from it. But I just generally like that game. Yeah, there's some cringy moments in it, but most Sonic games have cringy moments in it. But
Of course.
I like, especially in Lost World. The story in that's just garbage. It's like a mix between Colours and I don't even know. It's such a bizarre title, that game.
I know. Can I just point something out for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
During that game, I was disappointed in the fact that they had added this parkour thing into the game, because I think it was pretty pointless that you just had to add it in.
I mean,
And it ruined the gameplay.
they did build levels around it, which I think is better than just adding the move for no reason, but I don't understand why their game type changed so suddenly. Like, they outright changed the gameplay after having loads of great games and high regard again for the franchise. Out of nowhere, they just decided to change back to it was sort of adventure, sort of not, because the level design was different, the physics were different. It was so annoying, but because they had such a good run, the run of the Boost games was amazing.
What's your secret?
Yeah.
Like, they had back to back to back successes, and yet they decided to change the gameplay style, and I don't understand why. And yet it was, again, it wasn't even proper modern Sonic. It was more classic than anything. It had so many classic designs to it, and that infuriates me, because even though I said I'm a I like the classic series, which I do. I like it a lot more. I don't think combining the style of classic and putting it with modern is a good idea. I think that's a bad idea, because you're tarnishing both brands. You're tarnishing the classics by people being annoyed that classic Sonic's still being represented in a modern game, and you're tarnishing modern Sonic because it's not even a proper modern Sonic game.
Can I interrupt a second?
Yeah.
Of course.
You mentioned that the playstyle was changed for no reason, and, well, actually, there was a reason behind it. Which... Yeah, there was. Okay, I feel I have to say this because too many people don't know about this, and it works as such. Because, as you're aware, Sega get a lot of backlash about some of the stuff that they decide to do.
Yeah.
And there were a number of people, of which I was in that camp, who said that the Boost was a terrible idea. because when you think about it, it completely goes against what Sonic was, designed for. It was designed to use momentum. The boost takes that all away and gives you speed at, the push of a button, effectively giving Sonic a run button. But I will say one thing, I did know that, it was going to be very successful, and, it clearly has been. But at the time, there were a number of people, a lot of very vocally active people, who criticized Sega for using boost. And so, because of this, they felt, right, okay, it isn't working for some people, so you know what, we're going to change that. We're going to go with the old style again. They'll be happy, we'll appease.
Oh, you cut off there, Matt.
Oh,
His internet
Oh.
might have gone out.
yeah. Our apologies, bros. Wait, is he gonna come back on?
Yeah, he probably will in a bit. He's just gonna sort it out. So
Yeah.
I'll stop recording just for now.
Alright. Right, so while we wait for Matt to come back, here brings me to my big question. So, what do you think the future holds for the Sonic franchise? Do you think there's going to be improvements? What are your thoughts and opinions? Why don't we ask the man himself? Let's ask the Game Gambler. What do you think it holds?
Sorry, I know you guys. That's such a hard question, just because it's really uncertain in terms of. Okay, I just broke the game's camera. I think it's going to be a good. Again, I hate people who say, "Oh, the franchise is going to die if they don't do so and so and so." I'm sorry, we bounced back from '06 and boom. As long as they have ideas now, because how well Mania done. If something goes terribly wrong, all they need to do is make a Mania 2 and everything will be back. You know, he's bounced back so many times that I feel like because people are saying, "Oh, there has to be an adventure remake because Mario's having," that whole thing that's going on about how Mario might have like a reboot, not a reboot, remakes coming, like a ton of them.
Yeah.
But I don't see the point. The series won't die if that happens, and if Sega don't release an adventure remake. Like, I'm not saying I don't want an adventure remake, because I do, because I think that'd be awesome. But doesn't everyone? But even if there's
I
just
don't.
like a well fleshed out boost game, like a really well fleshed out boost game like Generations or Unleashed or Colors, I'll be happy, and I'm sure the rest of the fan base will be happy. Not everyone's always going to be happy. There's going to be some people who are going to be annoyed that there's no adventure remake announced or whatever, but I think if they do what they do best, and that is well thought out level design in terms of Generations and all that, the series is going to be fine. It's not going to go anywhere, especially as it has this dedicated fan base. It's not going to go anywhere.
Sorry, but before, because my mic completely cut out and Discord crashed, so that's great. Great
That's
timing. I may as well just finish off what I was going to say. They felt the need to appeal to everybody and therefore appeal to nobody, because that's what tends to happen when you try to appeal to everybody. I mean, see it this way. I mean, there are about the same amount of people who want a Sonic Mania 2 as there are people who want an adventure remake.
Yep.
Neither of which are likely going to happen. I'm sorry to say that. Don't get mad at me. But,
No, you're dead right.
wishful thinking isn't going to save the fan base, which is what most people are saying. But, going to ask a question though. What would you guys say is the best part of the Sonic plots from like the past while? What do you guys say would be, like, is there any part of the plot apart from the ending? Don't say that. Because that was my answer, no. But seriously though, is there any part of the plot that of any of the plots that have come up within the past 10 years that you'd say is like the best?
Okay,
I don't really know how to phrase this, but you know what I mean.
I personally feel like that, in terms of story, like if you look at stuff before the current writer stepped in, you know, it was very much not. I don't want to say samey, but there was the same
No, I know what you
vibe
mean.
going on.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
when, at least when these new writers came in, they've done everything, in my opinion, wrong. Character traits, everything is wrong, in
Same.
my opinion. But the one thing I will give them credit for is that they are creative when it comes to different ideas. For instance, colours. When if you would have told someone after Unleashed that the next game would be, you know, light-hearted, you know, have Saturday morning-esque vibes, things like that, everyone would be like, "What? We're not stuck in the 90s anymore. That's not gonna happen." You know, it's
Yeah.
I like that take on things because they're I can tell they're at least trying, but I think they're trying
I will
too
say-
hard.
I will say, like, if you were to summarize each of the different plots, it's, you know, it sounds like a good idea. I mean, think about it. Take an idea
Yeah.
like, say, I don't know, Forces. You know, Robotnik Robotnik almost successfully takes over the planet. I mean, people have wanted to see that since 1993.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
so I mean, they have a good core ideas. The execution of the ideas is absolutely atrocious.
Yeah, it's
I
just
mean,
they're not the right
I
people.
mean, apart from me, who wanted to see classic Sonic come back? I mean, really,
I would.
think about it.
A load
No,
of
I mean,
people.
no, in the way that he was. I mean,
Okay.
To be honest, I think people at the time, because of the state the franchise was in, I honestly would have thought loads of people wouldn't have cared what version of Classic Sonic came back. They would have just wanted him back. Because think about it, at the time we had the Werehog, we had a Sonic 4, remember,
oh god, no.
which promised like classic elements to be back. And if the next thing they heard was, or referenced was, Classic Sonic could be coming back, like proper Classic Sonic, everyone would have been ecstatic, and they were.
Yeah.
So I can, like, for the time, I can see why.
You
But
make a valid point.
I personally
Yes.
I don't like how people give him backlash now. That's the thing. People in this franchise switch like that. You know.
Fickle is the term you'd use.
Oh,
Hey
God.
KJ.
Hello?
Hope you're doing well. Wait, why did I?
I'm gonna need to nip out for a few seconds. If that's okay with you guys.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay.
KJ.
Alright, I'll
if you-
let you know when I'm coming back.
Okay, no worries, Matt. Take your
No
time.
worries.
KJ, if you want to hop in the Discord, you're more than welcome to. Yes, I am
Yeah.
playing a game. It's called Sonic Generations. And I've completely
And-
gone over my save file to restart from the very beginning.
And I believe we're coming up to the end of this video, so I wanted to say thank you to Matt and the Game Gambler for being part of this video.
No
And
worries,
thanks for
Oliver.
giving out your thoughts and opinions.
It was a load
So
of
what
fun.
do you think about the franchise to the viewers? So what do you think about the franchise? Do you think it's going to survive? Because I would love it to survive. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. And that's going to be it for today's video. This has been Ultrasonic 2, and we'll see you in a brand new video. Take care. And that's a wrap.
This is quicker than it was before. I don't know why I restarted this, but hey, I restarted it. The thing is, with the controller options, it makes the menus go crazy. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
Oh sweet, I'll hop in a sec, and dang. Give me this. Okay, I need to do... Okay, I got the key. I need to do... Chemical plant, is it? Where the other key is? Oh, let's do metal cement. There we go.
Wait,
Okay,
it could have been in a... Oh, KG Tails, I'm so sorry. I just ended a video.
I'm sure there'll be another opportunity very soon, KJ.
Yeah. Don't worry, if we happen to do another discussions video, I promise you'll be in the video. If you want to be in the voice chat, of course.
To be honest, I'm not in the best of moods anyway, so I'm sure one will come up very soon. The remix is so good.
And yes, Matt was asking about what changed the plot in the franchise. So I believe the story and the plots have actually turned out not satisfying, in my opinion.
To be honest, I think, in my opinion, they've gotten worse, and I didn't think that was even possible. Like, don't get me wrong, I would love another dark, like, themed Sonic game. Because the thing I'm afraid about with this is that then they're just not going to go back and try again with this dark plot and dark theming. Which I hope is not the case, because I want more of them.
Yeah.
But I think they've just gotten worse, because like I said, I think the best game they've ever like written for is Colours, and that was the first game they wrote for. And Generations, no story whatsoever. Then the little pieces that were there, you know, cool references and all that, only get you so far. You know, it's annoying. And then Lost World, the less we say about Lost World, the better. And Force is just naff. And I got the infinite loading glitch. Yay!
Forces was meh.
Oh, god damn it, I got the infinite loading glitch. Have to restart.
I think what the Sonic team really needs is better people to work with and further development, because
they've
that's
needed
what
that for
they
so
need.
long. They've needed that for ages. And
We
it's
keep
just,
Lost World on the other side of the planet.
yeah,
Says Koopa.
agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I don't even know what else to say. It's so annoying that we're in this discussion in the first place, because we shouldn't even be in this discussion. Because
No, we shouldn't.
Like, it shouldn't have gotten to this point where we say, well, the writers aren't good. Straight up, the writers aren't good. You know, it's frustrating. Very frustrating. Because it's they just don't get what the franchise is at all.
Yeah.
They don't understand the stories and what's happened before, and why people like the franchise. They just, and that's something they need to work on if they are going to stay. And to be honest, I really hope. I know this sounds horrible, but I really hope that they don't stay and they get some proper writers, like maybe from the IDW comics, because they get their franchise.
Yeah. Or the IDW comics from that.
I've only read a couple of them, and they already. I like them so much more than the Archie comics and the main games. Like, it's annoying. Like how well it is. And the thing is, that's after the Forces storyline, so they've even done Forces better than the main team.
Yeah. Better than the main game.
Yeah, better than the main Sonic team and the main writers. The comics are just better. It's like some writers have a perfect understanding of the series. Exactly, Cooper. Exactly.
Yeah. Of course. I've seen a few.
London.
Oh, hey.
Yeah. I've seen a few IDW comics on YouTube, but I haven't actually got them.
I've got two of
Bloody
them,
hate them.
and they're later on.
Bloody hate them as a writer. It's one of the worst things you ever got.
Yeah, actually, enough to. How could I say that? What was that word called again?
Let me say it like this. Let me put it like this. He makes everyone but Sonic a good character, let's put it like that. Sonic is arguably... Like, I find his Sonic hard to read,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, I find him a hard character to read into. Like, of the ones I've read, which I haven't, you know, admittedly I haven't read a lot because, you know, Archie as a comic has turned me off completely from reading anything from the IDW comics because I've been told it's almost exactly the same writing style-wise.
The characters are
which
so
is
much
not-
better. Trust me, the characters are so much better.
They stuck with the first storyline for how long, might I ask? Just
What
out
do
of
you mean?
interest.
The metal virus.
Because, you know, the whole metal virus.
Yeah, that was meant for
Wasn't
Archie.
it like... Oh, really? Now,
Yep.
why does that not surprise
Like,
me?
it literally was meant for Archie.
And they just brought it up. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
But
I'm not
from what I've
surprised
heard,
at all.
the way they've written it, people have said it's so much better than older Archie stories like that.
No,
Because
fair
there's
enough, but
there's
I
always
would
some sort
just
of
say,
development.
Like, my main problem with Ian Flynn, like, as a writer, it's not that he doesn't understand the franchise. He clearly does to a certain degree. I mean, the guy knows what he's talking about. He's clearly done his research. But at the same time, it feels... I don't know what would be the best way of describing it. Like, it feels like it's the best and worst of the franchise at the same time. Because you have characters like... let me think of them. Can't actually think of any examples. Like, let me think. Probably more of like characters like Amy, Tails, and say Knuckles. They would be the characters I would find of his work in particular easiest to read into. Like they are a lot more interesting and have a lot of character development. Sonic, on the other hand, well, okay, he admittedly has more of a personality than Roger Craig Smith's Sonic, but that's not saying much.
I
Like, let me put it like
in
let me say like let me put it like this. Sonic and Sonic the comic did come across as a dick. You know, in
Yeah,
the UK once. He did come across as a dick, but it was a sort of realistic dick. You know, he'd be
Yeah.
someone you've probably met, the guy who acts hard to appear cool. And I've met several people like him, so I know the sort of personality that's being written there. To the point where I could just go, oh, okay, it's this sort of a personality, yeah, sure, got it. But the Sonic comic, Sonic has layers, if you know what I mean. There are times where you read him in the comics and he doesn't know what he's doing. He is legitimately afraid. Like, for example, when Tails is supposedly killed in a hallucination that he's given, okay, he doesn't mourn Tails, but he will immediately go and kill Robotnik in response. Like, you killed my buddy, I'm going to, you know, I will reciprocate. You know, you get what you tit for tat, basically. Which is sort of realistic, coming from the point of view that he's, in the comics, supposed to be early teenager, but still have sort of remnants of his childhood in him at the same time. Not IDW, sorry. Flynn's Sonic reads like, look at me, I'm cool, I'm gonna be dickish, but I'm still cool, isn't that great, isn't that amazing?
it's not the same in the
And
IDW comics.
Thank God for that.
He literally he admit like the way they've done it is that they've made it so the first few issues is still modern Sonic, so you know, like Roger Sonic,
No.
but they've done it so he can transition.
What do you mean by
sorry,
transition?
like into a better version. So like you're still with the
Oh,
familiar
right, okay.
Sonic, like from the games.
Sonic!
But they've
But he has like different sort of viewpoints, personalities.
yeah, because with the
Like,
whole Metal
yeah.
Virus saga, oh my god, this control scheme. Oh my god, I hate this. Oh my god, I did not want to do that. The
R.I.P.
the oh my, this is causing it to go for the infinite loading screen. I hate this
Well, whilst it's
controller.
loading, whilst it's you could just pause it and just say what you want to say, then get back into it if you need to.
Okay, well, at least with, like, the Metal Virus Saga, he's at the start of it, he's still the better version of Modern Sonic. So, still cocky,
Yeah.
you know. But when he loses someone, and he went against someone's thing, he thinks about it, and he one admits it's his fault. And can
Yeah.
you name a time in any modern Sonic game where he has done that?
Well, there's the sort of what I like to call the fake recognition in Lost World, because you remember the infamous scene where Tails gets kicked into a
Yeah.
capsule.
But does he?
He says, "Oh, it's all my fault."
But
in
does he seem
5
sad
minutes,
about it,
it's
though?
all gone.
He just
Like
seems.
in 5 minutes, it goes completely.
But does he? He doesn't seem. He just thinks, oh, it's just another Tuesday. When he says it, he just thinks, oh, I can get another one.
Basically.
Whereas in the IDW comics, he literally kind of breaks down. And
Okay, that's more human traits. Okay.
yeah, he literally is a lot more. I don't know how to describe it. He's a lot more
Human.
human. Yeah, exactly. And he literally cries. He literally just because I haven't read into the Metal Virus bit that much, but the one thing I've gathered from it is that the only way that he can't get like infected is because of his speed. So if he keeps running,
Yes.
then he won't get infected. But over time, it's wearing away, and that's as far as I've gotten. So he's lost a character. I can't remember who it was, but it's his fault, and he literally admits it. It like sort of breaks down because of it, and imagine one of the moments in Archie. I'm gonna compare it. Say like Fiona or something. You know, when all that whole thing happened, and he's like, "Oh, I'm so sad," and all this crap like that.
That's exactly how he reads.
Yeah. he
I'm melodramatic.
Yeah, exactly. He just overreacted. He didn't. He wasn't himself.
Yeah.
Where he was human in the IDW comics, but you could still tell it was the same character who went up against Eggman. He got chucked out of space. He saved the space colony Ark from blowing up. He saved the Earth. It's the same character. Whereas that stuff in the Archie comics, you would think, no, this is a different rendition of the character. You would think that.
Yeah.
Whereas this character in the IDW comics oh my god. Oh, there we go. Feels like the same character, but he's got more depth to him. Like the closest thing I can sort of pair up with this is that, you know how people talk about Sonic's animation in the games? Like, he doesn't show his emotions.
No.
Well, and whenever a fan
In SA1 he did, but
yeah,
oh
but I
boy.
mean, like colours, all that they don't
I get what you
whatsoever.
mean.
And
It's the rigidity of animation.
yeah, it's annoying because it's like he like when a third party or fan does it, like they show how it's done. And it's the sort of same thing in the comics. They kind of are showing up Sega because, or sorry, the writers. I should say the writers and not Sega, because it is them who's doing it.
Yeah.
And they are showing it up so much in the comics, and it's kind of crazy to me that this is the same franchise, because because it takes place right after Forces, and so it's in the same universe, and that's what Archie kind of did multiple times, like in having game-related stories, but it wasn't, which I always found really weird.
Yeah, I can see what you mean.
But it's a complete 180, and it's such a good 180 as well.
Yeah.
Can I ask, just before we continue, because you know that period of time I was away, what all were we talking about, just so I have a rough idea?
Just about where we see the franchise and what we think's going to happen next.
Yeah, I was asking what does the future hold for the Sonic franchise.
Can I give my, 5 pence a piece for that right now, or I just, speed the thoughts for that?
Okay.
Alright, so, to say Sonic's in a good place at the moment is a bit pushing it a wee bit much. To say he's in a bad place at the moment is being too negative. He's in a sort of status. I don't really know how else you'd describe it. He's on the up part of the bell curve. He's getting out of, the hole that Sega had dug themselves in with Boom and Lost World and etc. But I will say that I kind of think what I hope will happen is that, they actually, first and foremost, they sort of shuffle Sonic Team a bit, because if you know how the things, if you've read the credits and done the research, you will realize that first and foremost, the writers that were on, say, games like Colors and Generations or whatever, had never actually played a Sonic game, or had never been on that sort of creative team mindset before. They had no prior experience. So it gives you what I really think they should do is get in people who know their stuff. Get in people who have a wide knowledge of the franchise, not the fan base. Why did I say the fan base? The franchise. A wide knowledge of the franchise and what you should and shouldn't do. I'm not suggesting for 1 minute they should get a fan, though if that is what's going to drag them out of hell, then okay, maybe that's a good thing. But to do stuff like that, so you have at least a strong, solid story. Because if you haven't noticed, Sonic games are all about the story nowadays, for some reason. They weren't before, but it's, the story should complement the gameplay should not complement the story. And nobody else has brought that point up in anything that I've seen or watched or seen reviews of. Or, whatever. Nobody's ever really said that. But in the old games, even up to, I would say, before Sonic 06, the gameplay came first. The story sort of took a back seat.
Exactly.
Okay, maybe Sonic Adventure 2 was a sort of, maybe that was the only deviation, really. But the multiple stories just sort of went with what you were doing, as opposed to what you're doing is only slightly linked to the story. But I would want, first and foremost, I want them to sort the writing out, because once you sort that out, you're good. Next, what I do is I get a good vocal director in, because if you've seen all the work that the different voice actors have been doing on projects that aren't Sonic, they are really, really bloody good.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Roger Craig Smith as Batman. There's something that's actually, he's showing a lot of talent there. Why isn't he doing the same kind of stuff in Sonic? Well, it's because the voice acting directors are, and I don't want to make this sound like a bad thing, but are people who don't really understand English all that well. So they're just going, yep, sounds good. You need sort of somebody who has a grasp of the English language, first and foremost, who knows what the script's about, and knows kind of what sort of tone the game developers were going for, so that it'll match up. Because, Forces, it was very jarring watching, like, for example, the battle with Infinite at the start of the game. It's sort of seen, like, well, the cutscene I'm referring to, where Sonic gets thrown about the place and dropped onto the ground. With the exception of the last line Tails actually says, Tails doesn't really seem to be acting appropriately for the situation.
Nope.
Yeah.
Tails is being, I almost said she because the actor is a she, but you know what I mean. He's sort of he sort of has a childlike sense of wonderment, as opposed to, oh shit, my friend's being killed. It should be sort of a, oh no, as opposed to, oh no. You know what I mean?
His acting seems more sarcastic than anything.
Yes. So
Yeah.
get in a voice acting coach. Sort of get in somebody who's read the script, understands what they're going for, and being able to get the actors, to sort of. I really don't want to say this, but get them to emote.
Yeah.
If you get my drift.
No, I
They want to
understand.
emote.
Yeah.
Probably as well what I do in order to get the best amount of quality out of the game as possible, extend the length of time they actually get to work on the game. If that means putting the series on hiatus while you decide what you have to do for the next one, so be it. I doubt people will mind all that much if they aren't making games to make something of good quality as opposed to rushing something out the door, which is what they have been doing for the
I
past
kind of want to
while.
step in here and just say that
Mm-hmm.
Forces took 5 years to make, even though it was a new engine. They decided to take the
Well,
time
I
off,
mean-
and that was what came out of it.
I think I've
Yeah, but you gotta remember still, they were using they're not actors, sorry, they were using writers and developers who hadn't worked on the franchise before.
I know, but still, stuff
But
can
still,
still
no,
go
no,
wrong.
no. They should get back in the people who worked on it whenever it was successful and, use the best of the staff they had.
Mhm.
Like,
Right.
in fact, if it was me, I'd course correct sort of where it wants to go, because you have things like Forces, which is working under the assumption that, the lighthearted stuff hasn't
Can I
worked,
quickly
let's go back
interject
to
something
something
here?
serious. Oh, no, let me finish it, I'm nearly done.
Okay.
But it's like, with all they're basically working under the assumption, the lighthearted stuff didn't work, okay, let's go back to something serious, whilst still being haha funny at the same time. Just as Colors was working on the assumption that, the serious stuff didn't work, let's go back to haha funny because that worked. So I'd want, something consistent there. If you're gonna be serious, stay serious. If you're gonna be funny, stay funny.
Yeah.
Rant over.
Yeah.
From what I heard, let me pause. Apparently it was 5, but the first one was under wraps and that was concept stages. The rest of the 4 years was engine building, and because the first year was like concept of what the next idea could be, what people would like. Then the engine was built, because then it was said it was going to be on the Hedgehog engine 2. Then they rewrote some stuff because of I can't remember what happened, but
Okay.
and then the story was made, and then the rest of the stuff that happened, like game wise, how game development, so like story, graphics, level design and everything was built up from then on. But it was stupid that it took that long, and that was what came out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, if I was going to be honest, if it was me, what I would have done was, Sonic Mania, when you realize how long it took them to make it, took them a year to make something of that quality. But it took 5 years for Sonic Team to try and make a game that didn't really, it felt like it was all done at cashed in at the last minute, if you know what I mean. Like, for
Like the
example,
best. Oh, sorry. Matt.
well, I mean, story-wise,
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean.
Yeah.
But like,
The thing I can sort of imagine
sorry,
is,
Matt.
hold on, I'm nearly done. If it theoretically took them 5 years to make it, then we can understand why Classic Sonic feels like a last-minute addition. Because see it like this: if Mania wasn't proposed at all,
Exactly.
would Classic Sonic be in the game? Would he be a part of the story?
No.
No. Could you easily remove him? Yes.
It's
Go.
it's like the annoying thing about this whole situation, that one we shouldn't even be in the first place, is the fact that, like you said, Mania came out, and it just goes to show you that sometimes simplicity can be the easiest option, because Sonic Teams even showcased it themselves, because Colors was basically a rushed title. And I know not everyone likes Colors, but it's a heaps ton better than Forces,
Yeah.
and I love
Yes.
Colors. Like, I don't hate Forces, but I'm on the, half and half. Like, it just goes to show you that, yes, I know it's over a decade ago now that Colours came out, and obviously people have come and gone from Sonic Team in the length of time between Colours and Forces. But it just goes to show you that even if it's a rushed game, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be bad. It just depends on who's behind it.
Yes.
Colours
And it depends
goes
on
to
the
show that.
development.
Sonic 3 goes to show that. Even though that was cut up into 2 games, it still goes to show you that a rushed game can still be a fantastic game. It's just,
Yeah.
again, it's all behind
Yes.
the people who is involved and if they care or not. To be honest, I honestly don't think the current Sonic team care as much as they used to.
Hashtag each the team.
Like,
Yeah,
I generally think that.
it makes them a little.
To be fair, if
Yeah, I was going to say I care less. That they just don't care about their development.
They don't. And it pains me to say that. Like, I'm not saying everyone on Sonic Team's like that. Quite the
No, of course
contrary.
not.
I think there are still a load of people who care about the franchise and what they do next. Hence, Aaron Webber's one of them. And I know he's not part of Sonic Team itself, but he's the social person. But in my eyes, he's still, is part of it. There are people on there who still believe and still enjoy this franchise, but the writers, that's one of them who I don't think really care. They're just doing it for money, in my opinion, because that's the rate of their work that comes out. Everything else is... I don't want to say... I'm going to say it. Everyone else, apart from the people who I mentioned, and apart from the people behind the scenes who we don't know about. Everyone we know about it, I honestly think they're not putting as much effort as they can put in.
yeah,
Or they are, and they've just lost
Yeah.
the feeling for the franchise.
I mean, I think I'm probably not the only person who thinks this, but I feel like at this point, like I said, if you would reshuffle the team, you'd probably get better results. But but I would probably vouch that if you put Sonic on hiatus for a bit to try and understand what the fuck they're actually doing, I think I'd probably be a bit more beneficial than it would
Would it though? Because that's
We
one of
need
the
more
main
time to
sources
put
of income Sega gets. So putting it on hiatus could ruin.
I don't know what happened. The entire voice chat just cut out for no reason, even though my internet connection is fully stable. I don't know how that happened or what. Maybe it's just a glitch in the system or something. But anyway, go ahead, you were saying something.
I was saying that could potentially ruin the company. Wait, what do you mean? Hold on. Sonic Mania and the Sonic movie are the only things that have come out the 5 years and are good, and they aren't made by Sonic Team. Exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
But yeah, I
well,
honestly think that it could potentially ruin Sega if he goes on a hiatus, because he's like the only thing that's consistently given them income. Good or bad, it is still giving them a load of money.
I know what you're trying to say, though. Sega have been relying on him to be their main source of income. So, I mean, I can understand why that would work, but at the same time, I'd rather have quality as opposed to...
Same here.
you know.
I totally agree with you, but him being on a hiatus could mean no more. If this company goes down, it could mean no more proper Sonic games.
Yeah, but at the same time, Sonic has also sort of benefited under certain third-party sources.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
if you look at Sonic 2 and 3, they weren't made by Sonic Team. And yet those are probably some of the most successful out of the entirety of the classic bunch.
I get that.
What's to say that if you were to give it a different team, that it's not going to succeed there as well? I mean, think about it in that way.
To be honest, I honestly think that putting it to a third party is probably one of the worst things you can do if it's not under Sega, because Sega
No,
are
but Sega's
strict
version, of course.
with the company, like with the mascot. They're strict with him, and if there's no person to be strict there, you know, it's. I honestly
Yeah.
think that, like, if it's a fan developer, or you know how Mania was handled. Again, if it's like that, fine, but it's
suppose
because it's under
implying-
Sega. Like, if Sega
Mhm.
isn't there, fan stuff like Mania might not exist anymore.
I wasn't suggesting not having Sega be on board with it. I mean, I was meaning a situation like Sonic Mania.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll be happy with that then. That'll be good. Just
There's
because
one
then
other
it'll
thing
be
I
in
want
good
to
hands.
mention. There's one other thing I want to mention just really quickly. When you realise that a franchise that so many people have sort of been saying is dying, like Sonic, which I don't see why that is, and Sega, you know, relying on it that much, that's really a light on how Sega have fallen since, like, say, the 90s. Because, you know, in the 90s, it wasn't just Sonic, they had a whole load of interesting IPs they could fall back on.
All different ones. And
Yeah,
they're
like
not
say-
existent anymore.
They're not existing anymore because guess who they've been putting to the forefront instead?
Or they've been bought out.
Well, there's that. But there are, like, significant other ones which haven't been.
Yeah, Monkey Ball's
Though
one
I
of them.
don't-
That would earn people a load of money. Like, I know there was recently a Monkey Ball game that came out, which was a remake.
Yeah.
with
And it
But-
was terrible.
Sonic,
Yeah.
But also, hey,
Hey, Daniel.
Hi, Daniel.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's
y'all didn't notice me.
it's
I was here like 5-10 minutes ago.
oh, sorry.
No, I
Um,
noticed. I noticed it didn't say anything.
But yeah, it's if they made a remake of the first game, people would be like, yeah, come on, we like it's Monkey Ball 1. Who wouldn't Monkey Ball 1 and 2? Who wouldn't want a remake of that?
Well, I mean,
and
I've never played,
Competition
so I
mode.
can't
Make
judge.
competition mode and Super Monkey Ball 2 a thing, please.
But it's one of those things where, again, like the Adventure remake, they're just sitting on money.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really just like a matter of money talking as opposed to what would actually be something that people would want.
Well, the adventure thing would be what people would want, but what I'm saying is that they're not doing it because they know if something
It's
goes
not.
wrong, they can fall back on it,
Yes.
like big
Can I
time.
just say something? Like, this is unrelated to anything we're talking about at the moment. This is just because I want to get awareness about this little thing here. Okay, is any, like, of the four of us that are here, actually, sorry, no, of the three of you that are here, are there any of you who have, like, experience editing stuff like YouTube proofs or whatever? Because because I'm doing a YTP Sonic Lost World collab and I want to get people involved.
I love YouTube.
I have absolutely no experience.
My pastime
And
is
nor do I want
just
to.
get used to editing YouTube.
It's just like editing stupid skits with the source material, Daniel. It's, you know, I'm not saying it's easy because it's not, but at the same time, you know, we're making it's not done in favor of Lost World. This video, if probably haven't noticed, but it's against it. But
Can I
at the same
quickly-
time, you know, it's just a community thing. It's a community
quickly
thing. It's
say
just want to get
something?
people involved.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Nathan, don't laugh at that because I'm not very happy at the moment. So I'm glad the amount of people are here, but if that's something you're going to laugh at, you can just leave because I don't want people.
I second that.
Yep.
I don't want people who are here who are like that. To be honest, you can just go away.
Yep.
Like,
Show
sorry,
some respect.
straight up, right
I can
away.
see exactly where you're coming from, Gambler. Because, like, I mean, anytime I would do a stream, I mean, there would be things you'd expect a certain number of people to show up, but with me it was low. With me it was like very low because I didn't think anybody would show up to any of my
Yeah.
streams. No offense, they're crap. It's just me sitting in front of a camera answering people's questions. I mean, who would watch that? But at the same time, you know, I was glad that people actually showed up. So I mean, it's not really something
Yeah.
you should laugh
You
at.
can, mate,
No, of course
as I
not.
always say, you can jog on. I don't really care about if anyone's going to laugh at that, because you're obviously someone who doesn't really care for the channel, or if you do, you
Yeah.
also don't care about me, the person running it. And in my
It just
eyes,
makes you toxic.
I don't really care. I'm not really happy at the moment, and that doesn't make me feel any better. So you can jog on, mate. No one likes people like that round here.
Well said.
I was so
applaud you
tempted
too.
to do the bit from.
Everybody start applauding.
I was so tempted to do the bit of was it Shaun the Dead, or I can't remember if it's Shaun the Dead or Hot Fuzz. Where he goes, jog on.
Oh yeah, I know what you're referring to. I know what you're referring to.
I can't remember if it's Shaun the Dead or Hot Fuzz, but it's one of the two, and you can go away. Because me, I don't care much for your kind.
Yep.
Anyway,
Yeah,
on a happier note,
Okay.
They're droids. We don't serve their kind here.
I went down here for a reason, so you could just see the Mighty and Ray picture.
Yo.
Oh yeah.
Forgot about that.
Ray's my favorite character. He's
I've
adorable.
always liked Mighty. Oh god. Even in like the Archie comics and the Fleetway comics, I always liked Mighty, and I was so happy when he came back. So I think I was one of the few people who, out of like, just because he was referenced in Generations,
Yeah.
I was I was ecstatic that he came back.
Yeah. I celebrated when those two were announced.
Yeah.
I was hoping the classic Chaotix would come back, but
Oh,
this Mighty
same.
Ray, yes. Speaking of which, why isn't Ray in the classic Chaotix? Can
He
I just
was,
ask why?
Technically,
Well, I mean, like, why haven't they? I
Was that
mean, I would
Fleetway
be
who
very
did it?
happy if Sega brought back. No, Ray wasn't. I don't think Ray was in the Fleetway comics for very long, or if he was in it at all. But I
Because-
know that Nak was in it for a bit. Nak
Yes,
the
yes,
Weasel,
he
Fang
was.
Sniper. And then he betrayed them, which was actually rather epic on his part.
Thanks, buddy.
because that's
Now
the
I
typical
completely entirely missed this entire subject material. What exactly in the world are we talking about?
Sonic.
Good question.
Yeah, we were talking about the franchise.
We were talking about Yes. That's what we were talking about.
Goodness. This is a next level kind of stuff that I am not even on the level to speak about. Okay.
We
KJ's
have
got a question.
transcended.
He said, speaking of things, what's your thoughts on Nintendo getting everything leaked, like source codes and debug builds? I can I say mine
Well,
first, if that's okay?
go ahead.
I, to be honest, I wish that on no video game company. To be honest, like I, even if it's like something like EA, even though I still hate EA for like what they've done,
Yes.
I still wouldn't want things like that to happen to a company, because that's money lost, you know, and
Yeah.
or potential money lost. And I'm guessing you're referring to the Mario stuff. I'm kind of excited for it. Not really, just because I'll be excited if it's true, but it's one of those things where it just doesn't seem like the Nintendo thing to do.
Yeah, that's not something they
yeah.
would do.
No.
Hey, KJ.
Oh, hi there.
Hey KJ.
Yeah, that happens.
Right, well, I'm gonna nip out for a bit, so
Okay.
I don't know if I'll be back, but this might be me. But you know, I've got a few things to do. I'm gonna DM a couple of you certain things because I want a few of you to get involved. If you're interested in the Lost World YTP thing, let me know.
You already know I am.
I'm a head out, so
Okay, thanks
see
for
you guys in a
joining.
bit.
All right. Just before you go, when do you plan to do that, Matt?
When do you plan to do? That's a good question. I don't know. Within about like the next maybe 2 weeks or so. I just want to like give everybody enough time to submit stuff. So
Okay, I'll be up for it.
okay, so I'll let you know in DMs all the stuff to do with that. There's only like 1 or 2 rules with it, so just I'll let you know those. So
Alright, I'll talk to
be
you in a
back
bit
then.
then.
Alright, see you later.
Well, before I go though, Ultra, is the discussion for the Sonic thing over at this point, or
What do you mean by that?
do you know how you were recording us talking for that?
Oh yes, I was recording that for about 22 minutes.
Nice.
So I've gotten some good answers. Really interesting
good, no?
answers, by the way.
Right, okay. See you guys later.
Okay.
See you in a bit, Matt.
Yeah. Was there a review thing? A recording? Okay, I'm just.
Oh, yeah.
I've got myself completely and entirely confused. Okay.
Yeah, that was happening earlier in the stream.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can explain a little bit more what happened with Nintendo actually. If you're
Yeah,
curious
go ahead.
about what happened. Yeah, so the other day, actually Nintendo's like source codes for like a lot of their like consoles, games, debug modes, menus, all that stuff was leaked. Like all
Oh
of it.
crap. Really?
And stuff is still coming out. Yeah, stuff is still coming out to this day.
Uh-oh.
So
Like
people are
what?
getting like the full. People have gotten the full source code of the Wii, the N64, the GameCube.
Oh my god.
Really?
Yeah,
No,
everything.
I am
Wait, so
literally
what does that
shaking right
mean
now.
then?
Well, emulation and hacking can be super easy to do now.
Oh no.
No.
Certain games, debug modes are entirely out, which is that's a cool thing for some people because you can like look into like development of games. But
I mean,
With
for
the first
historical
person console
purposes, I
stuff.
think it's all right because you can see how, like you just said, you can see how it's made
yeah,
and the history behind it. But everything else is just bad.
yeah.
What?
And so
Is that true? I feel bad for Sonic Team because some people left to work on Odyssey and Breath of the Wild.
Seriously?
What?
really,
I find that hard to believe.
Well, it might be
Yeah,
some
that's-
lower down people, not like the main.
Not
Group.
like them
I
to
think
just
I've actually heard about that.
franchise.
The whole Odyssey thing, actually. I heard a rumor about that, actually. I think the Odyssey thing.
Well, how are you doing anyway, KJ?
Oh, fine.
Yeah.
Just kind of working on that thing, and then the whole looking at Twitter and being like, oh, okay, crazy. Just kind of just been a little everywhere.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. A little bit overwhelmed. But I'll be alright.
Yeah, it's just a bit at the moment.
I feel
Sorry about that.
it's okay. I feel like this week hasn't been the best. It was okay, but not the best.
No, not
Dude.
for me.
Dude, it's only Sunday. Or did you
Yeah,
mean the
I
entirety of
know.
last week?
I am not looking forward to this week going up.
Do you mean like the start of today as a week, or last week kind of week, Ultra?
Well,
I guess I'll never know the answer.
I'm sorry, I'm just... Work has actually exhausted me. I've edited quite a lot of videos.
Well, I think always keep this. You always like take breaks and
Yeah.
you can't sit at the computer all day and make yourself go into like an entire state of just
Yeah.
void.
Hi, welcome to the Void. I hope you enjoy your stay.
There we go.
Hello, welcome to Chili's.
Okay, that cheered me up a bit.
I'm glad.
I always get better at talking to you guys.
Wait, say that again. I'm not paying attention today. I think we're all in the same boat here.
I mean, I'm paying attention, to be honest, I am.
I'm still following.
I'm just sitting here, just enjoying life. So
Oh, why were you timed out? Oh, I am, at least it was only for 1 second. Hey, Devil's Animation.
Hello, Devil.
You know what one of the worst things about this is that my LB is also onto my screenshot, so that's why you're seeing screenshots keep popping up. It's because one of my controller keybinds is also for Steam's screenshot.
He's back again.
Who?
You know the guy Nathan, who was in the chat earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's back
Okay,
again.
bye. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares about you, lazy bitch.
Okay, that's a bit off.
Sounds good, Nathan.
I'm kidding.
Sounds good, Nathan. Well, thank you for coming through.
But thank
anyway.
you for stopping by, but still, you know, like,
that's
I
fine.
don't really care after what you said, to be honest, but I'm still going to be nice to
That's
you,
fine.
because I feel like I'm the better person in this situation, so hope you enjoyed, even though you said you didn't, but, you know, maybe this wasn't your cup of tea, it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, so...
Have a good day.
Ta-ta.
Catch you later.
Sayonara. Fare thee well.
Thanks, KJ.
Welcome.
It's the wrong time to talk to me like that. I can tell you that straight away.
Also with those top tier lines.
Oh my God! What is that?
Yep, you just seen it because
What
it's
did you-
because
Hold
it's
on, what
I'm
did
using
you-
Unleashed
oh.
Sonic. It doesn't work in the. In the movie.
Oh.
Oh no.
Which version of Only Sonic Mario are you for that? Which version of Sonic are you using?
I don't know.
Because there's one version that does work for cutscenes.
I
And
don't
there's one
think.
version that doesn't. Okay.
I
Because the
couldn't.
one that comes with the Unleashed Project, actually, I think. I think it's that one.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Doppelganger.
Yeah, I was gonna
Doppelgangeries.
say, it might be wise to block Nathan just in case if he tries to.
Oh, it's
harass
fine. If he
anyone.
comes back, it's cool. I don't really care.
Okay.
Oh no, I hit him from the channel. He's gone.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
cool. He gone. He was here,
Thank Christ.
and now he gone.
You can see the channel, but actually no, I'm thinking you can see the channel when you're hidden from it actually. The channel's just entirely off your ecosystem. Okay, that's radical.
Come on, I can beat this guy.
I'm probably gonna give my work a break for about a week because I work too hard, but I will be uploading videos constantly.
Ah,
daily.
that's good.
That's good.
Keeping a schedule is hard, man. I don't even do schedules, and I think everyone knows that pretty much. It's like that's basically how life really is. If you're going on a schedule, it's becoming harder and harder. You're going to burn out.
I mean, you have to get to a
That is true.
routine. That's about it.
My only
Yeah.
routine kind of is
Because
I
I've,
post a
As soon
video
as you break the routine,
Wednesday,
that you
yeah.
start to
some of the day.
like. As soon as you break that routine,
I've been doing one a day for around 2 years.
It's a little
1 per day. So that's like every day of the week.
Yep. For 2 years.
Okay.
sad.
Like at the start, I did it and then I just stopped doing it. But I just thought to myself, well, it's fun, so why am I putting this off, sort of thing. And then I just consistently started it. Like there will be some days where I just won't be able to do anything, like for the past couple of weeks, just because of the whole thing that's going on. You know, it's there are some times where it's just a bit much. But I can probably say for a load of people that it's going to be like that, especially during this whole pandemic. And obviously with the way I'm feeling at the moment, that doesn't help much, but not much you can do about that. Jump! Oh my god, the jump button, jump. Okay, I'm gonna beat this guy anyway.
I find it funny how in 06's first cutscene in the first part, Sonic bursts.
I mean, he does have a point there. You do have a point there.
Yeah.
You have to get yourself stuff done to keep schedule for it. Wait, you'll have to get stuff done to...
You have to get stuff done, though. Schedule can push
Oh
you.
my god, my
Yeah.
brain was not working there. Oh yeah, they went back to the adventure style with 06 just because of Heroes being regarded as a flop, basically. Because it was a... I don't think financially, but the received-wise, it was regarded as a failure.
I still liked it though.
Oh,
That was
I
actually
hate this
genuinely that was
controller.
actually my first Sonic game.
Oh yeah?
That was my first Sonic game, Sonic Heroes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw. Okay. Here's some Dapple lore for y'all. So, I remember somewhere in some local store, there was Super Monkey Ball Adventure, and one of my family members got that for me when I was really young, like not toddler young, but just like really young. And I look at the back of the instruction manual, and it shows a Sonic Riders promotional like cover, like advertising the game. And it shows like a screenshot of like I don't know. I haven't seen it like for like 6-7 years. Make that 9 years. I haven't seen this promotion in years. That's how long I haven't been like playing like Monkey Ball Adventure and seeing the instruction manual. Anyway, I was asking my parents for this. What is this game? I would like to get it, please. It's I didn't know what this was, what Sonic the Hedgehog was at all. It was completely new. And then boom, Sonic Heroes. I only beat Team Rose because I had a pea-sized brain. Whoa! And then yeah, pretty much, yeah. Sonic Heroes was the first Sonic game I ever played.
Oh nice.
And then it was Sonic Classic Heroes, and then the list goes on. Some neighbor gives me Sonic Gems collection. I have absolutely no clue why, but it happened.
Hey, Gene. What you doing? Oh wait,
Hey, Gene.
I'm meant to go first.
Welcome. I thought for the millisecond that was just Sonic Unleashed.
I've got a load of
Well, you're
like,
close.
Unleashed mods on.
It's not Sonic Unleashed, but he's playing Sonic Generations.
but with unleashed mods, so I can see where
Yeah.
he's coming from.
Yeah. It's because of the HUD.
And the I got the model and the Jason Griffith voice and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate that you can't turn in the air. That's one thing Generation's doing wrong with the boost. If you... Ah! There we go. Oh, I died. Okay. Quit stage. Yeah, if you see that the menu flipping out, is because I had a horrible time trying to get this to work. Like, so I've had to download well, not download, but on Steam Big Picture, I had to download another controller setting, then go into the configurations, disable controller, and make it so I'm like playing on keyboard and mouse, like that sort of style.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nightmare, but yeah, it works at least. So that's probably why, you know, when the menus come up, it's like freaks out. That's the reason why. Okay, let's go.
Oh, it's fine. Anything is fine. No problem.
Follow me, set me free.
That's weird because it was basically this time with the game.
I'll make it.
Okay, it's not anymore.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a bit quiet for me though, but I can hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, my
can hear you.
entire, my entire phone swooped down on me. I can hear you guys, but I couldn't like talk to you.
Okay. Well, I can hear you. That's good.
Cause I entirely ran an entire
Oh, did you?
Cause I didn't hear you guys. Cause after Daniel like told his story, I thought about mine. I was like, huh. Cause technically my first Sonic game was technically only Sonic Elite.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, cause only. Well, if you guys want to hear the story,
Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
yeah,
Go ahead.
like All right, so let me set the scene. I live in a townhouse that's run down. I don't like being at home at all. Everything's just really crappy and genuinely really sad. By the way, I'm only 8 at the time, so
Yikes.
that's a big everything. And at home, I never wanted to be home. So my friend, I'd always sleep over at my friend's house, and his mom would always let me sleep over at their house. Like, the school days, I would just go straight to his house and just sleep there and eat everything. And so his mom got him Super Smash Bros. Brawl,
Oh, I love that game.
and he was like, "Hey, look at this game." I'm like, "Yo, is there Pokemon in that game?" And he's like, "Yeah, there's Pokemon." I'm like, oh, crazy. And then we were playing through the game. We're playing through Subspace, and then at the end of Subspace, I saw Sonic. I was like, "Who's this guy?" And he's like, "I don't know." And I'm like, and so right after we saw them, I played him. I played him in a versus match with my friend, and I was like, "This character's so fast. Oh my goodness, so." His taunts, crazy. And so my friend's like, he's overpowered, and I'm like, yeah, he's overpowered. I'm maining him. And he's like, dude, that's cheating. And I'm like, it's my character. I'm maining him. He's like,
Please don't tell me he was a Meta Knight main, the most overpowered character in the game.
oh yeah, no, he played Meta Knight. He played Meta Knight, and
He
I
can't
played
say
Sonic.
anything then.
He couldn't say anything because he'd always win. But
Meta
when I
Knight was
started playing
OP.
Sonic, he didn't know how to play Sonic. He didn't know how to verse Sonic. So, because by the way, I would just get home and attack. So. And by the way, we're like 8, 9, so. and so we're like, whoa, this character's really cool. And so we went to his old Dell computer, and we looked up Sonic. And the new Sonic game that they were promoting was Sonic Unleashed and Sonic in the Black Knight. And I was like, yo, this character looks cool. I'm gonna draw him because this character's making me actually really happy.
Yeah.
And that's also how I started getting into drawing.
Oh really?
Yeah, because I would trace the Sonic in the Black Knight art so I could have it in my old binder. I used to share in school.
Okay.
So I'd really like to see Sonic when I'm really sad, so I'd always have Sonic with me.
Interesting.
And so, when I would have to be at home, my mom, especially because at the time he was really bad, he had an Xbox 360, and when he wasn't at home, I'd play on Xbox 360, and I saw there was a demo for Sonic 06 and Sonic Unleashed. Because this is around the time 06 was still out. And I played through both. Tried getting it like Sonic 6 was I thought it was too slow, but when I played Sonic Unleashed, I felt really fast, and it was the, Windmill Isle. I can hum the entire song of Windmill Isle so much to a T.
That's my favourite
Because
modern
I
Sonic song. One of my favourite modern Sonic songs is Windmill Isle.
I played this level so much. I still know how to speedrun it to this day because I would constantly play it. So I can beat Windmill Isle in under like a minute and a half now
Oh nice.
nowadays because I played
That's better than me.
that much. Yeah, I played it a lot and genuinely I have nothing to say because it was that was my childhood and genuinely helped me out through a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
And so my mom noticed this, and so when she was stationed in Afghanistan, she bought me Sonic Unleashed for the Wii.
Oh,
It was with my
nice.
grandparents. I had to live with my grandparents for a year, so she bought me Sonic Unleashed for the Wii, Sonic and Secret Rings, and Sonic and the Black Knight. And also I had Brawl on my grandparents' Wii. And so, those 4 games were the only games I played for an entire year because genuinely I didn't want to play anything else.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then when she came home, she bought me a GameCube, and with Sonic Adventure 1, DX, well, Sonic Adventure GX, Sonic Adventure Battle, Sonic Heroes, Sonic Gems Quest, and Sonic Mega Collection. And that was my entire like birthday gift when she came home. And I still have all that stuff to this day
Oh, nice.
because genuinely it was honestly a great time for like her to come back and like the first like 3 years I known Sonic, everything started to go well for me, and genuinely I was really happy.
Yeah. That's
So
a really nice story. Like,
Yeah.
um,
That's a promising story.
yeah, I like that a lot. Just because it also like shows us how like you got into art and how much the series has done for you as well. I like hearing stories like that.
Yeah.
Like, I might as well go into what like my first instance with the series was. I owned I remember very early on when the Wii came out. There was a red version with New Super Mario Bros. On it and Wii Sports. And my my parents knew how much I wanted it. But like it wasn't at the start. It just seemed like another generic games console, like another Nintendo games console. But with the amount of advertising that went on, because like it was a family system, my mum finally got it for us. And no joke, I remember lining up to Ultra, will probably know the store I'm on about. I lined up to in this store called Argos, and I remember the line. I saw it on the back shelf behind the counter. Looked up at it and was like, okay, I know that's the system we're getting. And so it was like a good 10 minutes. Good 10 minutes of waiting in line because everyone wanted a Wii. Like everyone wanted one. But then I finally got it, and this was also the first time I was introduced to a very famous plumber. And New Super Mario Bros. For the Wii was my first proper Mario game, because I remember playing, I think it was an old Mario Kart before that. Like, that's very hazy.
Which cart?
I can't remember. To
Like
be
the
honest with you.
64?
I can't remember whatsoever. I can't remember what game it was. I just know it was a Mario Kart. I remember what. Yeah, I remember what it was now. Obviously, my birthday was coming up. It was close to my birthday. Oh, my alert just went off. And it was my birthday was coming up, and thank you, Maxi Gamer, for subscribing. Yeah, and I remember my birthday was coming up, so I, being myself, I did not know what I wanted. So I just said, I thought to myself, well, I like the Wii because I like the games on the Wii. So I asked for just Wii games. So I remember my brother got me a bunch of Wii games for my birthday, and they were, what were they? They were Mario Kart Wii. I think a an old school COD game, like a ported COD game, and Sonic Colors.
Oh yeah.
And that meant
Love that
I
game.
was finally introduced to the blue blur. But I was not really interested in Sonic Colors at first. I could not really like see myself, playing it. No, it was not a COD game. Sorry, it was Mario. It was like a Mario Sports All Mix. That's what it was.
Mario.
Okay.
Sports Mix.
Yeah. It was like I had all the different games, and you have like items when you played the different.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was my first like Mario game. It was New Super Mario Bros. Wii and the sports game. Then I played it way too much. The other games I had, it was just that Sonic Colors and Mario Kart Wii that I hadn't played in a while. So I just thought, well, I played Mario Kart Wii before, I might as well try out this Sonic game. And trust me, if Colors' story was like Unleashed, I would not have been interested. Because it was so cheesy, because it was so corny, like a kid's cartoon, I was sucked into it, and I loved everything. I remember beating that game so many times. And then I remember I also had a DS at the time. So around when my brother got me the Wii games, I also asked for some DS games. So I got New Super Mario Bros. Then, and I adore that game. So when it came to Christmas, yeah, it was Christmas. When it came to I bought this for myself. When it came to, I think, a couple months after my birthday, I thought, okay, I got some birthday money. What can I get with this? Because again, I was young at this time, so there wasn't much I wanted or I could get. So I literally just thought to myself, I like this Sonic Colors game. I wonder if there's any other games like this. So I asked my parents to look up if there were any other games, and obviously the other one was Sonic Unleashed, but because of the box art and the story behind it, my mum was just like, nah, that's probably not a good game for you. So the game they found instead was Sonic Classic Collection for the DS, and that was
Understandable.
my introduction to the classics. So it's funny because even though I'm a classic fanboy and I like all that, that's not the games that I played first. I played Sonic Colors, a modern game. I know people can argue that it's more of a classic game than a modern game, but I then went back to play. What was it after that? I think it was. I played, because I had obviously the Wii had a GameCube. Like you could play GameCube games. So I also played Adventure 2. And I liked that game, don't get me wrong, but my D-pad wore out because of Classic Collection and Mario Kart DS. They're the two reasons why. Yeah, so that was my long story about how I got started with a series and how I adore the classics, because in my eyes they are the perfect games in my opinion, especially for someone my age at the time to get into. So good.
I agree.
And I came into the series when it was, again, at its low point. Okay, my jump just didn't come out there. Yeah, when it was at a low point, because Unleashed was good, but obviously people didn't really like the Werehog. So I came into the franchise at a weird time. But yeah, that's my story with the series.
Well,
That's neat. That's cool.
I was going to say, when you mentioned about the Werehog, how he runs slowly, but he can like grab onto ledges or bars.
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
I mean, do you know what the annoying thing is? That it was meant to be Knuckles, a Knuckles playstyle. And
Yeah.
I feel like if it was Knuckles, people wouldn't be as harsh on it as the Werehog, just because it suits Knuckles a lot more. I'm not saying it isn't. It doesn't make it better,
No.
because in my opinion, it's meh. Because the combat is very just button mashy. Sure, you can do combos, but there's no real point to it. But if it was Knuckles, I feel like he would have a better rep, because again, it's another playable character.
Yeah.
But the game came out in a time where Sonic fans didn't want playable characters; they just wanted Sonic. And we're in the point now where people want to see the characters back, and are actually telling Sega off. Hey, Game Chromosome, how you doing?
Hello.
You know, they're telling like Sega off for not putting characters in, when at the time it was what people wanted. They just wanted a Sonic only show.
Yeah.
But I guess it's not good in my opinion. It's not. It literally should have just been the daytime stages, and that's it. It shouldn't have been anything else.
Nighttime music is good.
Oh, do you? I mean, fair enough.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing I like about having discussions like this. You can. Some people like things you don't like, and people out there, especially in this fan base, some people just outright hate them for that, and I don't understand why. Because I think I will personally enjoy the game more knowing someone else can have more enjoyment out of it than I can. So I'm glad that you like the Werehog, because then it's a gameplay style that some people like, and I'm glad that some people like it, because otherwise it would just be a character who just exists.
Well, there's also a thing with the Werehog that I have a fond memory about also, my childhood, because also I never actually knew how to beat the first level of Woodlaw Isle, the Werehog on the Wii at all. And so my cousin came over. He plays God of War and stuff like that. And so he sat down next to me. He's like, "What are you playing?" And I said, "I'm playing Sonic Unleashed. I haven't beat this level in like a month." And he's like, "Oh, let me give you a hand." And so he's older than me. He knew how to play this. He knew how to like actually read the how-to tutorials.
Yeah.
And so he helped me out with that. And so that entire night we just started beating Sonic Unleashed together. He played the nighttime levels and I played the daytime levels. And over time he would teach me how to play the nighttime levels. And so after a while I started to really enjoy the nighttime levels because, well, they were fun and they were interactive, because I'm a young kid and I like interactive. Also, I find it funny how a lot of us came during the so-called dark age of Sonic.
Exactly.
Like we started to enjoy Sonic normally in the so-called dark age. But if we became fans with the games that people say are dark age games.
And like, I can understand why they were called that, but it's the fact that no one thinks about the young audience. And I think, apart from the fan base, like the fans, that's the main target audience. And obviously they have to think about them first. For instance, colours. That's like the most glaring game with that mindset. And that was my first game in the series. Sonic Unleashed for you, KJ, that's another example of apparently a Dark Age game, but had so many elements in there changed for the better, in my opinion, than the HD version. Because I've only beaten Unleashed on the PS3 once, and that's just because I didn't like the frame rate drops, the issues, everything like that. but the Wii version didn't have that, which I think was awesome. You know, it was, in my opinion, especially when I played it, I played that one about 3 or 4 times. I can say I've had a much better experience with the Wii version than the PS3 version.
Yeah, the Xbox One, just Xbox 360 and PS3 One. The pretty version.
It was pretty,
And
but
some people are
obviously
like,
that cost
Yeah.
the frame rate.
honestly, I think the Wii version is the best version because it takes the Rush style, which is where they got this from. It took the Rush style and moved into a 3D space. They didn't take a huge jump and try to do all this other
No.
stuff. They just
No.
moved it over.
It was also at the time, developers knew more about the Wii than the PS3 and the Xbox, just because the Wii was technically, even though it was a new generation console, it was more old gen technology, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Overclocked GameCube.
Yeah, exactly. It was basically a newer
Yeah.
GameCube.
Yeah.
So developers knew more about it, like in terms of specs, what it can do. PS3 and first off, the PS3 said like a lot more than it could actually do. They said it could handle, I think, 1080p really well. A few games only went out in 1080p. There was a load of other things where they just said things that it just didn't happen. And it was the same with the Xbox. Not a lot of people knew about the specs of the system.
Yeah.
And the jumping could be so weird and big.
Yeah.
Because over time, you start to more to understand the game, like in the console's like capabilities.
Yeah.
But oh boy, beginning.
But like, it does. I'm not saying the PS3 version is awful. That's actually the contrary. I actually, for what the daytime stages does, they're beautiful. Like they went full force, and as the last major 3D Sonic game, I think it's probably one of the best to end on, because all games after Unleashed have been cheaper titles. And I think there is no better game, in my opinion, to finish on Unleashed, if there has to be one to finish on. Just because it has style, it has charm. They went, okay, my Home and Attack didn't come out. It has style and charm, it has a lot of things going for it. And I feel like it did everything it was set out to do. And you can't say that about most games in the franchise. Take this
You've gone quiet.
Oh, sorry, I'm trying to concentrate.
Yeah, no.
I thought you'd gone quiet for the moment.
Yeah.
I hate
But,
this.
yeah.
The bloody LB on the is it LB or LT? I think it's LT. Is mapped to the screenshot button on Steam. So every time I try to quick step or end a trick, I take a screenshot. Which is
Yeah,
so
that was a
annoying.
fascinating story
About what?
about what you just.
Oh, okay, sorry. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's just that's what was happening at the time. It was the same for like many PS exclusive games, as well as Xbox games. But I think if my memory serves me right, people have come out and like Xbox came out and eventually said what the specifications of the console was. The PS3, I don't think it ever did. Well, they
It
must
never
have done, or like very
Yeah.
detailless. You know, lack of detail.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Sega were just going above and beyond with it, thinking
Yeah.
that these consoles can do all this stuff, when in fact that they just couldn't handle it, hence why the lag and all that was happening.
Yeah. I mean, Sega has stopped making consoles ever since they released the Dreamcast. I believe it was in 1999.
Yeah. 'Cause
1998
Adventure
was the
was...
Dreamcast
It was 98,
release.
wasn't it? Because Adventure was a...
Japanese.
Yeah.
1998
Yeah.
was when Adventure 1 in Japan
Yep,
came out.
because it was a launch title.
Yeah.
And then 1999 was when
And
in America.
yeah, and they stopped making consoles because of,
God!
because they were not making enough money for them.
Nope,
Yeah, but
No,
money-
it was the
enough money,
Saturn.
and then
the Saturn killed it.
Oh yeah.
also you saw the PS2. And they're like, we
The only
can't
reason
do
that happened was because of DVD. That's literally it.
Yeah.
People saying, oh, everyone else was fine. No, they weren't. Have you seen Nintendo's GameCube sales? Literally nothing because of the PS2.
I have a deep question. How do you feel that if the PS2 was still getting support up to 2015?
Yep, it was a Pro Evolution Soccer game.
Yep.
I think it was the last one. Like, the Famicom was still getting supported. Like, the Dreamcast still is actually. I'm not joking, there are still indie
Yeah.
releases coming out on it.
Yeah.
It's a super easy game to like work for. It's a super easy console to work for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the
You're
main
not wrong
reason.
about that.
I've always wanted to own a Dreamcast. I've got two, like, this is what my list of things I would like. A Model 3 Mega Drive, because I got a Model 1 and a Model 2. What else? A Saturn, but I would much rather get a Dreamcast than a Saturn.
Okay.
And what else? And a Mega Drive Mini, just so I could have 3 Mega Drives.
Oh, I have a Dreamcast and I love it so much. I have a bunch of homebrew on it too.
Oh, nice. I remember hacking my Wii. I felt like such a, you know, like,
Oh,
like
I have two. And one's just for entire hacking, and then my Wii U's for entire hacking, and then my Wii's for actual wholesome fun.
yeah,
Do you
yeah.
remember those like weird Mario Kart Wii texture mods?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like as
Yeah.
weird as it gets, and weird, like different kind of music, like very different kind of music. Like it doesn't even look like the same game no more.
Yes.
The amount of Sonic.
That was a weird.
Stuff
That was a
for that.
weird era of the internet.
I love it. That was the time.
That was a really weird era of the internet.
And
I don't want to have some character from My Little Pony be Lakitu to cheer me on lap 2 and lap 3. I don't want that kind of thing. No, thank you. Because that's the kind of stuff that you can see. And for me, being younger, like at the time when modding was first like being discovered around Mario Kart Wii, custom tracks and everything, I found that really freaking weird. And that's when I decided never to watch a Mario Kart Wii video ever again until TWG98 started the show. Ever.
Wow.
also, I don't think
Whoa,
Classic would top run at all.
Is there a Dreamcast emulator? Yes. I think it's called Redream.
Yes, there is.
Hmm.
It's I think it's called like Cast or something.
I think there's 2 of them. There's not many.
There's 4. There's 4.
Oh, there's 4.
There's
oh, God.
4 Dreamcast emulators. It's called
I d-
Artcast. I know that.
If I were you, like, there's the only game, like, from the Sonic series that you would want an emulator for is Sonic Shuffle, because otherwise you can get everything else on.
Actually, I have Sonic Shuffle.
Oh, nice. I've actually never played it.
The case.
Never played it.
For me?
Yeah, I've never played Sonic Shuffle.
Oh, that's one of the first things I got.
I've heard things
Dreamcast.
about it, and like I don't want to assume things because I haven't played it.
I found the case. I'm just gonna put this in the chat. I'm gonna put this in the Sonic the Hedgehog chat. There we go. There we go.
Gam, I think I'll actually get going and do some other things. It was nice to watch your Sonic Generations live stream.
No worries, thank you for joining.
Alright, take care, Daniel.
See you.
See you.
Bye.
See you later.
Oh, he's got the game.
I need
Nice.
to see this.
I
I'm
have
having
the
it
manual
afterwards.
and everything.
I've never played Sonic Shuffle. I've always wanted to try it.
Yeah,
but
I've
I don't
never
have a
played it. I've heard
Dreamcast.
bad things about it. But again, I
Really?
don't
Is
want to
it-
assume.
Is it
things.
bad?
Yeah. Apparently. It's like a knockoff Mario Party, but not as good.
It's really bad Mario Party. The only reason I played it is because it was Venice game or Adventures, and I didn't. There was no multiplayer Adventures, so
Oh,
my
yeah.
would always want to play with me. And so I said, Sonic Shuffle, here we go.
I mean, if that's like
It's fun
one of the, it's not,
when you're kids.
it's not a like a awful, it's not a horrible game from what I've heard. It's just,
Boring,
it
that's a
doesn't.
lot.
There's just better versions of like the game, like Mario Party out there that just do it a whole lot better. Let's land on this. They did Planet Wisp bad in this game.
Yeah.
They like tried to fuse all 6 acts into one thing, and it's just
Bad
it's long.
idea. Like, it looks beautiful.
It's long.
I love the look of it,
Yeah.
but everything else, even the music, like, ew. Not that
Only
good.
I can call Sega for game secrets. I'm just not reading my disc. I can call Sega for game secrets.
Wait, what?
Apparently, you can call Sega for game secrets.
Really? They still allow that?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
I don't know. I'm curious though.
That's
Well,
awesome.
this is like, it's even like the actual demo.
Does Nintendo still do that?
Because there's a bunch of not for release on my case, so I don't think I'm supposed to have this in the first place. Because everywhere on the disc in case it says it's not for release. So, I don't know if normal. This on a couple games have that. I'm gonna look that up actually. 'Cause that's true. Sonic Shuffle.
Whoa.
You know something? I'm feeling a lot better, so I might as well tell you about a bit of my story.
Ooh.
So why not?
Yeah, okay.
Right. So
Wait,
what
wait,
actually?
wait.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I have an entire I have a case that doesn't have a barcode at all on it. So yeah, the game case I have is not meant to be sold in stores.
Oh.
So I either have a bootleg or a display.
It's probably a display.
Yeah.
Probably a
Probably.
display.
Oh, hopefully it's a display.
Hopefully it's a display. Cause I got the case, the manual and everything, but all of it says not for release on it.
Oh, yeah, it's probably display then. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
definitely sounds like a display.
Display.
Case. Oh, I hate the stage.
Okay. Alright, so what actually inspired me to get into the Sonic franchise and the series? So the very first game that I actually played was the very first game of Sonic the Hedgehog back in the 1990s. It was one of my favorite games that I enjoyed playing because of the levels and the Sega Genesis music. It's what fascinated me to become a musician so I can produce my own tracks. And then as time went by, I actually started to get into Sonic the Hedgehog more often. And one of my other favorite games was playing the second game, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, where you get to either play as Sonic or Tails. And the special stages, I was speechless, but I loved everything about it. Because that's what fascinated me to get into the franchise. And then as time went by, I actually started watching The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, the TV series, and I loved watching the episodes and the voice cast, especially the actor who played as Robotnik. Snoop as usual. That was one of my favourite quotes.
If we're gonna be talking about cartoons, I've got a story to tell you after this as well.
Sure. You can talk about it now if you like.
Oh, okay. Well, you know the whole thing I was on about, like, gaming Sonic franchise.
Yeah.
Like, I first started off with colours, and you know what I said. Well, my first actual outing with this series, period, and I know everyone's gonna cringe at this, was that when I was younger, like about 4 onwards, I think 4 until like 7. No, about 4 until about 6. I used to watch Sonic Underground,
Oh, I watched that too.
which isn't a good show.
I have my Sonic Underground disc actually.
And
Oh.
the funny thing is, this is how bad like the franchise had gotten up to the Colors point, because when I played Colors, it didn't click in my head that this was the same franchise as I used to watch when I was younger. It was that and Sat AM. I used to watch reruns on this little, I don't know if it's still up, but there used to be this TV channel called Tiny Pop. And
Oh yeah.
they had like
I've heard about that
reruns
channel.
on that, and I got like sucked into it. I really enjoyed watching the cartoons, even though now I regret watching Underground because it's garbage. But I loved Saturday. Well, I loved both of them at the time.
Yeah.
And it was just a blast to watch. And I remember there was this like the songs, especially in Sonic Underground, I remember liking a lot, to the fact that on long car journeys, when I was such an idiot kid that I thought, I don't know if you've heard the song called Ruby 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 Ruby. It was very popular in the UK, and
Okay.
this was like 2000 and God, I don't even know. It was like late, like 2007, 2008, I think.
Oh yeah, I think I know what you're on about. I think you're on about the song,
Yeah.
and I think I might know the band. I just can't
But-
remember the name of it.
Yeah, and I always used to think the singer was the same singer from Underground. I still don't know to
Really?
this day if it is, but I highly doubt it. But I used to think that, and so when, and I'm not making this up, so when like
Okay.
Sonic Underground used to come on, or the song, no, sorry, when the song Ruby came on, when I was in a long car ride or something, I would actually kind of get emotional from listening to it,
Oh.
because it reminded me of the cartoon, and I still don't know to this day why I was emotional about it. Like, it's beyond me. I have no clue why I used to get emotional over it. Like, that's one of my earliest memories, that. For God's sake. The input. But yeah, that's pretty much what happened, and that was my first instance of the series. And it wasn't a very good one, I know, but hey.
It's something.
It was something, yeah. That's all you can really call Underground, is just something. Are there mods available in this game? Yes, I've only visual mods, no gameplay mods or anything like that. It's just Unleashed stuff. Oh, I forgot what I had to do. God damn it. The one act from this I hate. Like, the one decision they added to Planet Wisp I absolutely hate. It's this minecart section.
Oh yeah. I thought I didn't like that.
I absolutely
I think it's
hate it.
At a Sonic do that, I see boost on a cart to make it go forward.
It's oh my god, I did not click A there. I don't like this input stuff I've put on. It's not
Okay, so back to the other conversation about my story. So I was talking about.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought you finished that. I wouldn't have done.
Oh
said
no,
my
I
story.
didn't finish it just yet. There was still more.
Oh, I thought I would have
sorry.
allowed you to finish. Sorry.
Yeah. Enjoy some of the TV shows more often, apart from Sonic Underground, because I didn't think it was that good, to be honest. But I did enjoy the the classic series,
Yeah.
and it was based on the Archie comics, which I never actually read before, but
I didn't either.
it actually it only got me a little interested in it. Oh yeah,
Actually, setting in.
yeah.
It's kind of yourself a setting in, it's not setting in yourself up. It's the other way around.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, this.
I can take it that Gamble's having enough time with that.
Oh my. Yes, I am. This
I'm watching
input
TV.
decision is garbage.
Okay.
It's constantly dropping. Look,
I'm better than this, I swear.
Alright. Forgot what I was gonna say now. God
Saturday
damn.
oh, I'm sorry.
about the Archie comics because it was based on Saturday.
Yeah. And when I got to around the age of, I believe I was about, I think 12ish? No, tell a lie, it was 11. How can I easily forget? I'm 26 already. So yeah, I was 11, and then I started getting into playing Sonic 3D. It was in the Saturn version, but I was still playing it on the PC because of the music. I quite like the music, and don't get me wrong. I think, in my opinion, I like the Saturn version other than the Gen. Because other than just 16-bit music, the Saturn had some of those instruments that I really, really liked. There was like pianos, strings, trumpets, drums, bass. It was everything that I loved about it. And then you get this, I believe there's only an opening, and then, opening, and then two of the CGI cutscenes, whether you get the bad ending or the good ending. I thought that was good. So, what do you think about Sonic 3D?
I prefer the Mega Drive version than the Saturn version, in my opinion.
Okay.
Oh my god, I hate the stage.
At least you're honest.
Yeah, I prefer the Mega Drive version just because of it's got the Mega Drive sound font.
Yeah.
Oh my, I hate this controller. Urgh. I don't suck this bad, I swear. This is like, for some reason, sorry to interject, I need to air
It's
myself. For some reason, that the same button to use the wisps, which is why the controller setup that this person's made has made jump be Y at the same time. So I'm air dashing when I shouldn't be. But before I use the wisp, so it's jarring. Okay. Yeah, I prefer the Mega Drive version purely because I personally like the. Oh god, I'm dead. No. Oh, this controller scheme is crap. Yeah, I just prefer the overall feel of the game. Like, the only thing I like more about the Saturn version than the Mega Drive version is the special stages. That music. Ooh, that's some jazzy tunes. I love that theme so much. Of the the Saturn version. Plus, the special stages themselves are way better than the Mega Drive ones. The Mega Drive ones are just garbage. Finally, there we go. Yeah, they're just garbage. I can see what they were going for, and I
Yeah.
appreciate that they were going for that. It's still a really good technical achievement for it. But the Saturn version, man, is just so much better. In terms of soundtrack as well as just gameplay in the special stages. Like, I don't think they differ that much when it comes to the base game. But I prefer the special stages. I prefer the soundtrack and the special. Prefer the Mega Drive soundtrack and the overall game, but I prefer the special stages in the Saturn.
Okay.
Not say the Saturn.
Interesting.
Not say the Saturn soundtrack is bad, but I prefer the Mega Drive.
No, of course not.
Almost at the end. Oh god,
Wow.
I've got the time eater to deal with.
And you've been
God.
streaming for about over 2 hours now.
Yep,
Really?
because I'm
Oof.
committed. I'm committed to beating this game.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
And those games actually inspired me. They inspired me to do the things that I really enjoy doing. So I got into playing a bit of guitar, a bit of drums when I was still at my teenager's age. Then I stopped doing like music lessons, but I started to practice more eventually for myself. Kind of like teaching myself how to play guitar, other instruments. And then it actually got me interested in doing some voiceover, because by that time I only just had a cheap ass microphone which had poor quality.
Yeah.
And, along with my old iPod Nano, which not like a cube shaped kind of way, but it's longer than just a cube.
Yeah.
So I'll
I
probably
remember the old iPod Nano.
yeah.
Yeah.
I only had that device by that time, and quality was poor, but yeah, it was poor, but I didn't think it was that good, in my opinion. So I started to just I feel like I'm just stuttering now.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
No, that's cool.
So I only had that device by that time, and I only got into like recording some music videos, but not like professional music videos. But I was still young by that time,
Yeah.
and that's how I got into loving the franchise,
Oh, nice.
and that was my story.
I've got another little story. I know you're probably tired of my stories.
No.
I haven't been abroad. I've been abroad once, and that was the one time I went abroad was for a school trip, and my god, it was an awful school trip. And basically we went to Belgium to celebrate the war. You know, it was a history trip, and I remember taking like an old iPod. It was an iPod Classic, I think it was. And I packed that thing full of remixes and like Sonic remixes and just game remixes in general. And the amount of like I remember going through YouTube a couple of days ago and like just coming across some of these old school remixes I used to listen to when I went on the trip. Like, it was a massive nostalgic feeling, like a massive one, which I've never felt before because everything else is just I've either been new to it or I wasn't that close to it. So yeah, that was a little story I just had there.
Okay.
Because my god, I want to go abroad again. Oh, the trip itself was awful. Like garbage. Like we got told to we stayed in a hostel. Like, and
so?
but it was like an awful hostel though. Like you would. There was no like. Imagine what you would have for breakfast, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what's my controller doing? Like you'd have like toast or something. We had bread. That was it. Food for dinner was awful. I had a friend who was a vegetarian. The school told him he was a vegetarian. So what did they serve him? One meatball.
Excuse me. One meatball.
Yep.
Meatball.
And he was a vegetarian.
That's ridiculous.
Like
Dinner.
the sleeping arrangements as well. Imagine like a double size, king size bed, right? But imagine that two of them like a normal one, but then opposite there's 4 single beds just put together.
Or singles.
Yeah, just put together. So we all
So, like
we had to have a
attached?
group. Yeah. Oh no, they're all literally next to each other.
Oh, so they're detached.
No, I think they were attached. I think they were attached. I think.
Or they're all like 4 singular beds and then with a giant sheet that's
Yeah.
around all of them.
Okay.
And then the coverage
Alright.
to add that.
Alright, that makes no sense.
And like it was so crappy, but this iPod made me get through all of it. Like it was insane how I realised how well music can help you in that trip. And I remember, right? So I made myself not have anything. No, the first night I had, because my mum packed me a lunch before I went. So I didn't eat that for lunch because we didn't have time. So for dinner, I had my lunch, like my British prepared lunch, not the Belgian stuff. So that was, I think it was a sausage sandwich and a load of other stuff, but that's not important. And right, the day after that, I didn't have anything for dinner because, my God, it was awful. Like I saw people having it, and it looked like awful. So I didn't have anything. On the third day we visited a Belgian chocolate house. Like the teachers, right? This is how bad my high school was. The teachers all went to a cafe and they literally just told us to wait outside. We weren't allowed to go anywhere. They were allowed to chill and relax. We literally did nothing like that. We weren't allowed to do anything like that. So I got a grab bag full of, and I mean like a load of Belgian chocolate.
Okay.
And that was basically my dinner for the next 4 nights. Was just Belgian chocolate
That's,
because everything else was garbage. And this probably sounds weird, but I prefer Belgian chocolate made in the UK than Belgian chocolate from actual Belgium.
Okay.
Like it's weird to say, but
Okay, well, how would you scale your journey from 1 to 10? From bad or... No, from good to worse.
oh, what do you mean journey?
Yeah, what you mentioned about your trip or something?
Oh, I'll rate it.
Yeah. Or how... No, I mean scale it. As in rate as well.
A 3 at best.
Okay.
Like it was awful.
Understandable.
Like
Yeah.
it was
Oh,
crap. Like I remember, one of the funniest things came out of it was you would not realise how happy I was to be on the coach ride home, like going through. Because we also went on a ferry. That was the best part of the whole trip, was the ferry ride there and the ferry ride back. Because even though I was like, not seasick, but I didn't like it. I remember. Oh my god, this bloody controller. I remember going through like there was a shopping centre inside of the boat.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember going through that. There was an arcade where I first played Daytona USA was in that ship. What else? Yeah, on the way back, I remember seeing the White Cliffs of Dover and being so happy because I realised I was at home and I could be like happy. And I remember like you know it was a bad trip when the best thing that came out of it, like one of the best things was the Burger King at the end on UK shore. The best thing out of the whole trip was eating at Burger King at the ferry stop.
Funny thing is, I used to love Burger King, but I've actually stopped going to Burger King because I'm trying to watch my weight and I'm focusing on my diet.
I don't like Burger King. I didn't like it then, but I still bought something because I was like, actual food and not chocolate for like the 7th day in a row. Like, it was awful. Like, the teachers just straight up didn't care. Like, they were like that in school, but it was the fact that we were in a different country, in a place I had no idea where we were, and they still acted like, they didn't care. That was the scary thing.
So they didn't care at all whatsoever?
No, they didn't.
Wow.
They've always been like that. Like, when I had my GCSE my science exam, like, we were all in the class beforehand, and there was this teacher I like looked up to, and I told him literally everything. If anything was going wrong, I would let him know. So he knew things that were going on in my life. And he was also my tutor. So on the way to, like, everyone was going out to the exam, he was saying what grades he would think people would get. When it came to me, so everyone else, he was going A star, A. When it came to me, he literally turned around and just said, oh, you're going to get a D. And he knew I had, like, stress issues, like anxiety issues because of the whole thing. And he still just turned around and just said, oh, you're going to get D. And this was on the way to the exam.
That sounds rather harsh.
Really, really harsh. Like, I honestly went into that exam thinking, well, I'm going to fail. And I did.
Damn.
But everything else I
Sorry to
passed
hear
on, so
that.
I was happy about that. But teachers in that school were garbage. There was only three teachers who were actually nice. The rest of them either gave up on you because you said that you weren't going to university, which meant you weren't earning the school money, so they just gave up on you.
Damn.
And this sounds like I was a bad kid. I wasn't. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I just wasn't.
But you're not bad. You're amazing.
I wasn't a. I was what people call a goody two shoes. You know. Like, I would do everything as the teacher said. You know, I would do my work. I would do everything correctly. I wouldn't muck around. But that was the thing about the school. They liked bad people more. I was in the limbo that was. There was a limbo of. You either had to be like a really bad student to be noticed, or you had to be like a really smart student to be noticed. I was in the middle where I wasn't smart, but I wasn't bad. So no one noticed me whatsoever. So if I had any issues, they just didn't get resolved. But if someone had like 17 detentions and nearly killed a teacher, for instance, that didn't happen. But if, they would be best mates, like with the teacher.
Okay.
And it was Oh, that school was just garbage. I was so glad I went to like college afterwards and didn't stay there because I hated I hated high school so much.
Sounds like a dysfunctional school to me.
Yeah.
And I'm truly sorry to hear that.
Oh no, that's cool. You know, there's nothing much people can do about it now.
Yeah. But I'm glad you went to college.
Oh,
How
God,
was it for
yeah.
you?
So much better. Like, it's insane how good, like, how different it is. You get treated differently and everything.
Yeah.
Like, it's... Whereas in high school, you still get treated like you're a kid. Okay, why did not work? At college, you're treated like an adult. And that's like honestly the best way to go about things, because some of my friends are still in that school I was just on about, and they
Did you mention off?
yeah, they hate it.
I don't know if you could real idea.
Like, because of
I think your mic's cutting, Gambler.
oh god,
Yeah.
really?
I know that's like,
Yeah. It was lagging for just a few seconds.
That's not so good. Is it okay now?
it's fine now, but yeah, it's fine now.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, my friends are there doing A-levels, and they still treat me like a kid. Like, if they've got like they're going to meet like a meeting for like a work they're trying to get to, they'd be told off for going there, not going to school, even though it helped their career.
Right.
That school was just garbage, like straight up. Yeah, that's part of my life. That's happened.
Yeah. I don't think I've told you about this, but I went to college when I was around the age of 18. I did like a bit of retail, local investigations, and did a bit of IT computering, which I was really into because I can do a lot of computering, and I've always been into like being kind of like a guy who can actually configure or fix anything that's electronic, like or anything in particular.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's one of my favorite teachers that I really enjoy, and he's actually a member of the band. And he does amazing music. And what else does he do? Yes, he also works at a radio station at North Sound 1, or actually North Sound 1 and 2. He works there, and he's got a really good taste in music.
Oh, cool. Well, I'm sure he does if he's on like the radio.
Yeah.
Where's the key? That's awesome to hear though. There it is. Oh yeah, KJ, I'll also let you know about like why I haven't been 100% after the stream. I remember you asked me about that earlier.
Oh yeah, I did.
Wait, where do I want to go
But
here?
it's private, and just text me later.
I mean, I can talk over VC because I've told Ultra anyway.
Yeah.
So
You'll understand what he means.
where do I go?
Loving something as simple as Sonic can inspire you to do things. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
That's the main reason why I'm here anyway.
I mean, that's the reason we're all here, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we like the franchise.
Okay.
We don't want anything bad to happen because of it.
Yeah.
Well, we're done with music because it's Sonic. like real like music and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I got more drawing and stuff with the Sonic.
yeah. I'm also into voiceover.
Exactly. It's only because of a certain blue hedgehog who shall not be named by a certain classification of modern or classic. But it's a hedgehog. At the
Yeah.
end of the day.
Yeah. Okay, I wish Hypersonic will be canon in Mania Plus.
Yeah, I miss Hypersonic, but I understand why they've left him out, 'cause of sieges and stuff.
Yeah.
Overpowered. Anyway, 1 second.
Okay.
But yeah, I miss
Hypersonic is
Hypersonic.
powerful. Yeah. And they did have him in fan games, of course.
Yeah, but he did say, like, canon and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, the main reason is why is because it will probably give people seizures, just because of
Yeah.
flashing colours
Because-
and bright lights.
Yeah. Or flashing images. Which I can totally understand.
Oh yeah,
and
so,
respect.
like, it isn't needed, especially if it's going to, like, have people in danger. Yes, I do, Cooper, yes, I do. Fleetway Sonic,
Yeah.
like Supersonic. My god, one of my favourite depictions of just Sonic in general.
Yeah.
Like,
And they did have Hypersonic in Sonic 3 and Knuckles in that game.
yeah, that's his first and last appearance.
Yeah.
But
Rip
Fleetway
Hyper.
Supersonic, oof, he's something else. Red blood, like the circulated red eyes. Everything about Fleetway Supersonic I adore. Like, he even turns into his own character later in the comics. He's even I haven't read them, but the Sonic the comic is still being run online by fans. I think the same thing's happening with the Archie series as well.
Yeah.
Nearly at the end. Just got to do this and I'll get the key and then time each time.
It just had an interesting thought. What if Sonic was actually Ultra Instinct, in my opinion?
Sorry, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, like when Sonic transforms into like Instinct, Ultra Instinct, a bit like Dragon Ball. Like when Goku transformed.
I've never seen Dragon Ball.
No?
Oh,
Nope, I'm not an anime person.
actually, I never thought about that.
Well, it was just a thought.
It's technically Dragon Ball ripping off of Sonic now, because Ultra Instinct has white hair, and if you take away the color of Hypersonic, it's
He's
just
white.
white.
Yep.
He's always
Damn it, I forgot to get
yeah.
the key.
Ultra Instinct Goku is a
Yeah.
ripoff of Hypersonic, confirmed.
I literally haven't seen any anime whatsoever.
Ah, I forgot you're a non-anime watcher. Actually,
Yeah.
have you watched Sonic X?
Nope.
I have.
Oh, okay. So you actually haven't actually watched any anime.
It's just because it didn't really interest me, to be honest.
No?
It didn't look that good.
You looked at Sonic X and you said it didn't look good.
Mhm.
You're a lucky one. You're one of the lucky ones.
I'm probably one of the few
Genuinely.
people left on the internet who can openly say he's never watched anime or likes anime. I don't like it.
What is this? What is this cartoon that's from the other side of the
Like, if you're talking about like TV stuff, I'm a cartoon person. Like old school Saturday morning cartoons. That's me. Oh god, I hate this control scheme so much.
Yeah, I like about cartoons too. Like, yeah, I went into cartoons.
Super Mario Bros. Super Show.
Yep.
Super Mario Bros. Super Show! Oh my god, this control scheme is garbage.
Do the Mario, swing your
this.
arm.
From side to side, come on, it's time to
I love to watch Mario.
and then you can
best part about Mario is that I like voicing as them because it brings so much joy and it brings a lot of happiness too.
It's a football, Luigi. You didn't make it.
He's always in a bad mood and always angry, always grumpy. Everything's always a rotten day. Oh, yahoo!
Let's know Luigi to you, Mario.
Mama Luigi. I actually used to watch the Super Mario World cartoon when I was younger.
Oh yeah, I remember that. How can I forget about the series?
Super Mario.
You got to meet Mario, Luigi.
They're doing what they can. Yoshi and the princess, giving them a hand.
Mario. Super Mario World.
I just remember it was so weird.
What's the canonic like connection between the Mario cartoon? Because honestly, how do you go from the first two games being like, hey Luigi, remember that one time we were in the Mushroom King? Oh Mario, I remember that one time in the Mushroom King. Oh look at that newspaper. Oh look, it's a famous actor, Jack Black.
Yeah,
Oh, crazy.
you've never heard of
It reminds me of that
Jack
one
Black?
story. And then the third show where they did the same thing. Then to Mario, where are we? Why is there Yoshi? Why are the cavemen? Mario, what's going on? Luigi, I think we've been taking too many mushrooms, Luigi. I don't know what to do. I don't get the canonical story of that. What happened to Toad?
Oh, Toad with his helmet.
Oh yeah, it's the helmet. Oh,
I will never forget Mario sounded like he was from Brooklyn in the Mario cartoon.
And in the Mario movie.
oh yeah, the Mario movie. They're also from Brooklyn. The princess was just the entire like random business girl.
Yep.
Yoshi with the entire giant
It's
dinosaur.
a piece of the princess, Mario.
Is that how people got that one, like all the jokes of like Mario in real life and it's just the princess being this one girl they find on the side of the streets? Because I genuinely have no actual idea what's going on most of the time.
The Goombas in the Mario movie
Oh god, you don't want
is
to talk about
like
Goombas.
hell no. The movie was horrible.
Oh yeah. Like the Bob-ombs had Reeboks on, that's all you need to say.
My favorite part is when Bowser showed up. There's just a man
Bowser!
who was shorter than Luigi and Mario. And Peach. You gotta watch the Mario show. You gotta watch the Mario movie.
I'll never
Really
forget
gotta.
the Mario sound like it. Yeah, the Goombas in the Mario movie is like, oh hell no. If Eggman made the Death Egg Mark III, I think he has.
Has he?
I don't know.
Wait, okay. Death Egg. Okay, Sonic 2's Death Egg was custom made. Sonic 2 Death Egg carries over to Sonic 3. Then it's destroyed Sonic 3.
And Knuckles.
Little Big Planet. Yeah, and Knuckles.
Little Big Planet.
Yeah, Little Big Planet is
I think
a
you mean
Death
Little
Egg.
Planet.
Well, it's oh god, yeah, Little Planet, not Little Big Planet. Yeah, Little Planet is a planet. It was a chain, and then in Sonic 4, Episode 1 and 2. No,
was
but
Mark
Sonic
2.
4, Episode 1. He doesn't rebuild the Death Egg. It's more just he rebuilds the Death Egg.
No,
in
it was a Death
Sonic
Egg.
Episode 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's technically Death Egg 2. And then in Sonic 4 Episode 2, he puts a Death Egg around Little Planet.
But it's called the Death Egg Mark II in Sonic 4 Episode 2, so that makes no sense.
So it's okay. So does he just grab the same Death Egg from
But then what's the one in
From-
Forces then?
Death Egg Mark III, I guess?
or Mark 2.75.
Mark 3.
I think we have Mark 3 in the Forces.
Yeah,
Unless
it
The
has
Mark
to
3
be.
Jack
Forces,
thinks-
but it almost looks the same to the one compared to the older game.
Yeah, but it's just saying it's like the third version of it.
Yeah.
What if they just reused the same death egg model from Generations?
They did.
And we're just all being really dumb.
No, they did.
Oh,
They
that would
did
just
down.
make them reckless and careless
They
about their
100% did.
development.
I genuinely feel like they just reused it.
It looks exactly
Yeah.
the same.
They do
So that
it
means
Because
it was reused in All Stars Racing and then Forces. So it's been
Yeah.
used
Oh, it
twice.
wasn't. It's an All-Star Racing and Team Sonic Racing.
Not gonna lie, once I heard the Death Egg was a thing, I went like, oh, Seiken Star was so.
Yo, when are we getting Sonic Force 03?
Oh god. Never, please.
Just. But think about it.
Can I just say one thing? They ruined this cutscene with the Sonic 4 Supersonic music.
Whatever you are,
Sure.
Oh,
embarrassing beatdown,
So I'm gonna
you better give up.
skip this cutscene and it's 11 o'clock. So here we go. Come on.
you crazy, Eggman! We're gonna beat you again, Eggman! Sonic, this is my younger self. Oh yeah. Hello, rodent. Oh, Eggman! Ha! You fiend!
Wait, how do you switch? I can't switch. There we go.
Oh.
Oh, would you look at Eggman? It appears his breath smells so weird. Yeah?
I wonder what's going to happen, Mario.
Oh no!
I need rings though, you moron. Stupid cream.
Oh, Streamlabs just timed him out.
Can't do that.
The Koopaling team.
Oh my god, sorry, Cooper.
Our apologies. It does that sometimes.
A lot of times. Why is he over there? Shut up, Knuckles. It looks like a homing shot.
I don't know why, it would be a really funny thing if someone makes a mod of Sonic Generations and replaces all the voice clips for this entire fight with our random banter from the live streams.
Oh my god, the amount of homing shots. Shut up! That looks like a homing shot.
That was like a homing shot.
Oh, that looks
Be
like a
careful,
homing
Sonic.
shot.
I haven't played this boss in like 2 years. Wait, it's like when I last did my Generations playthrough.
Good question. How did, at the end of this game, how did Eggman get out of Whitewood and the Lost World?
I don't know.
That is a mystery that we'll never know.
Switch. It's not allowing me to switch to classic Sonic. Switch. Come on.
Well, we know what happens at the end of the game. So, which brings me to an unsolvable question. Since both classic and modern Eggman, or if you want to call him Robotnik, that's totally fine by me, are both trapped in time, and like just a white-pitched background. I was gonna say background, but it's background.
Welcome to no space without no and space.
How am I going to get out of there?
I
The way
don't
they
think I can
got
switch to
there is
classic Sonic.
because in this battle, they get hit into like the white void.
Yeah.
Because right now they're trying to twist everything, so that's why everything's like all messy up and messed up. But then into basically the hub roll.
Okay, got him. That's
Then the
phase
hub
one.
roll doesn't have it.
Nice.
Actually,
Oh, sorry.
I just thought about something.
Alright,
So, you know, the White Hub World has levels in it. They could have just gone to a specific level and went through their normal time like that.
yeah.
So, that's good.
This stream has now reached 13 likes.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Is there any dislikes? Probably.
One.
Just the one. And I think I know who.
Yeah, I know who it is.
You know who.
Not going to mention his name.
Yeah. We don't want to give them the satisfaction of being inside of our heads past the Melody reading.
I can't switch.
Go and puck yourself.
I can't switch. W. Okay, I can use keyboard controls to switch. I'm just gonna do that.
I'm just wondering, what if since there's hot like balls of lava, and I'm guessing those hot balls of lava is exactly the reminiscent of Crisis City,
Yeah.
kinda.
Yeah.
What
I
if
see what you mean.
Monosonic bunted? What if Monosonic bunted classic Sonic into that on accident? I just-
Go. Boost, you moron. Go. I'm so trash at this.
Oh no, you're not trash at this. You're brilliant at this game.
Oh no, I'm awful with this control scheme.
He keeps moving back. I don't know what's going on. Looks like a holding shot. Okay.
That's funny. I could have sworn Eggman got him weaker.
Well, there's nothing funny about that, is there?
Mario and Luigi. In the crowd was like Fred.
I should
Oh,
play
it's
the
awesome.
Super Mario Generations mod for this.
Turn all the rings into coins and the...
I just love how I make my voices entertaining for this stream.
Mario, looks like a homing chapter.
Oh, the base we're done for.
Come on,
Time's going to return to normal.
switch.
A laser
Back.
watch out.
Switch back.
The time's catching up again.
I can't switch back. Uh-oh. There we go, switch back.
Koopaling team says 1 more month and school can get away from my life for a couple of months.
Oh yeah, summer's
Okay, school's
gone
gone
for summer
forever.
holidays coming up.
School's gone forever for me. I can never go back.
And is this still spring?
Yep,
The season?
it's nearly
Wow.
summer.
Time passes by quickly.
Yes, it does. Especially when there's no concept of time during this pandemic.
It really isn't. I remember March like it was yesterday. We're in May.
Yep.
Yeah.
April went by like it was nothing. I don't remember anything of April. Oh boy.
Okay, I think this might be the last phase.
Come on.
Yeah, what's funny, Mario? I faced a lot of dark Perry's speech, but I hate to see what's down to Pet Mario's stomach.
Oh, be quiet, Luigi.
The princess is in another castle.
There we go. Oh god, the Sonic 4 music.
Yeah! Wait. Oh. Right.
And Nico.
Oh, okay. I want you to guess how many screenshots I've gotten at the end of this. Because
Okay, it's every time you jump, right?
no, it's every time I hit LB, which is the trick, or the or switch on a rail or quick step.
Okay, I gotta think back to everything went to the right. I think I have about at least around 60 to 100 screenshots.
100. Okay. Well, how many do you think, Ultra?
Ooh, that's a tough.
And that was
Very,
Sonic
very
Generations.
I would say 98.
Okay.
That's my guess.
Why two after mine? Oh, before.
Ah, this is
Okay.
a nice 7-minute ending. I mean, I could skip this.
Yeah, well-
Should I skip this?
No, dude, this was an enjoyable experience, and you must go through it, like, and think about all the memories we have shared throughout this
This
live
wasn't
stream.
enjoyable just because of the control scheme. Like,
Yep.
the game is enjoyable. I love this game. the control scheme that Steam needs to fix this.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
It never happened to me when I played this game.
no, it's only recently just happened to me. I've had this game for 3 years now, I think. But hey, I'm
But
glad
you
you
must
bought
admit
one.
it, it's a good game.
Oh, I love this game.
Is it just me, or I can't look back at normal Chemical Plant without the type way because I think of Sonic Mania's
Yep.
Chemical Plant
I'm the same.
and how it's like look, and I just look back and I'm like, that looks old. I like the classic games. I'm like, oh boy.
I'm the same with oh, what's it from? Oh god, let me think of the zone. What's the other Sonic 2 zone in Mania?
Oil Plant.
Oil Ocean, yeah. I'm the
Oh,
same way
Oil
as the
Ocean.
Oil Ocean, and
Yeah.
I just think because I've memorised Mania's layout so much.
I kinda had to.
Yeah, I'm the same with all stages except Green Hill because I've played both the original and Mania's one so many times. But especially when it comes to like Chemical Plant, all of the other returning stages, it's just like. When I
Okay,
go
can I
back to
say
the
one thing?
original, trash.
I've actually never played. I don't actually go back to Lava Reef at all. It's like me. Never go back to Lava Reef. Or I go back to Titanic Miner, but never Lava Reef. I like the music in it, but
Actually, I
just
think
never-
I'm the same. To
never
be
did.
honest, the only time I play it is when I'm doing like a full playthrough.
Yeah.
Oh. Remember when
What was
Lava
that?
Reef was like so hyped because the first like frame of the Mania intro came out and it had like Lava Reef in the rings and people freaked out.
No. Go beginning at Sonic 3 level? Because we didn't know about any Sonic 3 levels at the time.
No, we didn't. But I'm so glad
Well,
Hydrosity came
yeah.
back.
Yeah, the Sonic 3 levels are actually into post-game. Like, we already knew about Sonic 2 levels, minus Oil Ocean, and
We
Sonic
knew-
1 levels.
Yeah, we knew Green Hill was coming back because the E3
Yeah.
demo.
Yeah, the Sonic, Summer Sonic show, whatever it's called again.
Yeah.
Okay,
I feel like
Cooper-
Green Hill is overused.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Coupling thinks 34 screenshots. Yes, we did make it.
Okay.
Oh, 34? Only 34?
No,
Oh.
just 30, yeah, 34.
Ooh, you're underestimating how many times you have to switch to the right in Sonic
I think it's
Generations.
more than that. Do you know what? That wasn't even the worst thing. I thought that was the worst thing, but it's when I got to Planet Wisp and I had to use the Wisps. But every time I clicked Y because of this control scheme, it made me air dash. That's why I kept dying, because the Wisp just wouldn't like be used. It would just be him air dashing. Like this control scheme is garbage.
I think that control scheme is for the Unleash control input that you can turn on.
Wait, say that
Because
again?
it's probably for the Unleash inputs that you can have turned on. I think it's for that because with the Unleash inputs, it's just all up to the X button. So you jump with the A button.
I don't have the Unleashed
Or-
inputs on because
That's probably
hated
why.
that. I don't have that on.
Yeah, that's probably why.
Sonic
because-
06. Ugh.
Hey, it's Sonic 06. Don't Sonic 06. It has good traits,
Music
Like,
is about it.
music, and yeah, look at the scene where Sonic
No,
is
yeah,
grinding
the
and he
tropes
jumps.
it has is amazing. Especially
love
for
how-
like what would have been a reboot. They're still very Sonic-esque, like
Yeah.
environments, and they're really good environments. That's the thing I hate
think
about
so.
06 is that there was promise, and even in the E3 demo and the E3 trailer, it looked so good.
Yeah.
The gameplay looks so awkward that they're using. Does Sonic get hit at least once in it?
Yep.
Oh, there's some lag.
I've only beaten PS3 Unleashed once.
Yeah, you should play Unleashed 5 then.
Oh, I've been playing that a lot, but I mean, like, Base Unleash. So that means I've only played the Werehog stages, like, once. So whenever I go back, like, I will play it eventually. It's going to basically be like a new experience for the Werehog stages. Like, I'll be good with the daytime stages because of the Unleash project.
Don't forget, if you're already subscribed, make sure to turn on the bell.
Thank you, Ultra.
You're welcome.
This is the theme they should have used for Planet Wisp, not the remix, because I love this theme.
Yeah. I like the original theme,
So
other
good.
than just the generations.
Well, what they could have done
It's
is just
botched.
use one of the like different acts music for it. They didn't have to remix it.
Yeah.
They
Or do
botched.
what they did with
They could have reused it.
what is? Sorry, my mind's gone blank. 06 this
That's okay.
06 stage?
Yeah, I can't remember the name.
Crisis City.
Thank you, Crisis City. They should have done what they did with that, where they put all the different quote-unquote acts into one song. They should have done that with Planet Wisp.
Yeah.
Because they made all the switch transitions between each like song for Classic Sonic with a more techno transition beat.
Yeah.
And when Modern Sonic is more of like a guitar riff with the transitions.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all still
Yeah.
on the same song. That would be cool if they did it with Planet Wisp.
The second one, I am, with the U, because I am British.
Also,
Yep. So am I.
am I the only person who actually really wanted Sonic 06 level? Either Aqua Base, Aquatic Base, or Wave Ocean.
Oh, Wave Ocean's so good.
Preferably the Crisis City.
Oh, Koopling, sorry about that. I have no clue why it does
Dream
that.
Labs as usual.
That was... If you... Okay, I'm going to read what Cooper says because I can finally see the restream chat.
Yep.
If you enjoyed the content
Every time
you watched here,
Streamlabs does that, it makes me want to bitch slap that bot.
why not subscribe for more stuff like this? Hit the bell and get the notification to join us on streams or videos that I upload. Ah!
The stream bot thought it was a spam bot.
Yep. Okay, let's move it to this. God, it's all laggy because of Steam.
And we are coming up to the end of the stream.
You know what I'm gonna do is I'm not even gonna play the music at the end because I think that'd be a bit too long.
Yeah.
I'm just going to end it here. Thank you, Thank you for being here. Because if you didn't see like yesterday's one, you obviously didn't hear what I said at the end of it. I'm not going to repeat it here, but if you really want to know, pop over and have a look at that. But it means a lot that you guys were here and watch me fail and nearly throw my controller across the room because of the amount of crap, like inputs. Thanks, Koopling. I'm still feeling under the weather like I was yesterday, but you know, thank you guys for being here. And
Yeah, he'll be alright.
I'm KJ, I'm not going to put you first this time. I'm not going to put you first. Ultra, would you like to say who you are and what you do before we finish?
Of course. I am Ultrasonic here, a professional voice actor, music composer, gamer, and a dance tutor. And that's basically all that I have to say for tonight.
KJ?
Good thing I'm second. Now I can actually think about what I'm saying and not feel put on the spot. But I'm gonna just cut it straight to the point. Hello, I'm KJ Tails 12, or KJ, whatever you like to call me. I don't care really that much. But also, I do a lot of art. A little too much art. Every time I come to this point, I just can't say anything besides I do a lot of art to the point it's probably sickening to someone. But hey, I'm on everything, so find me and ask for art.
And the other two people that were here was Matt McGuinness. He does small videos along with his own review series that he's been editing for a while now. He's also been working on stuff in like behind the scenes. That's why he hasn't been on as much as he has been before. Dan, the other the other person was Daniel Dapple. He makes a load of SRB2 content and other different styles of videos. So yeah, that's everyone, and I hope you all enjoyed this, and I'll talk to you all next Saturday or Friday, because that's when Matt's free the most. So I might do one on Friday, but I'll let you guys know. If not, I'll talk to you Saturday and Sunday. Oh, you're fine, KJ. No worries, STH. No worries.
It's okay.
Oh my, sorry. 500 seconds? Why? Why Streamlabs? Streamlabs, why? I allowed it.
Streamlabs has been a derp.
I allowed it. I don't understand why Streamlabs would do.
Streamlabs has been a derp as usual.
But he's been timed out for 500 seconds. It's not 1 second. I don't understand. Oh my! I'm sorry, SDH. That was not me. That was bloody Streamlabs. Yeah. But all we did was just play through Generations. Yeah. Thanks, Coupling and KJ. If you want to charge your phone and join us in the VC afterwards, you're more than welcome to. So I'm gonna talk to you all later. I don't know what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I'll figure something out. It'll probably be a Hangover fan game or something. That's about 4 minutes. I don't will. Okay, no worries, KJ.
Alright.
Oh, 4 minutes for what? 500 sec for 4 minutes. Okay, STH. That was not me. I have no clue why Streamlabs did that. That's very annoying. But I shall talk to you all later, and make sure to join the Discord. Link is down below to, you know, catch up, and you can talk to me and a load of people. Before I leave, I religiously played sorry, I thought you said before the sequel. No, Beyond the Speed. Yes, I did, because do you know what's funny? That's where I got my X-Padder from, was from Beyond the Speed. But I haven't showcased it yet, because it looks cool, but it doesn't seem like it plays amazing. I'm sure I'm totally wrong, but that's one thing I've put on the back burner just in case I don't have anything to review.
Is that a fan game?
Yep.
Okay.
Anyway, I'll talk to you all later on. I hope you enjoyed. See ya.
Alright.